Hello and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons and critically fumble a lot. The group has reached Egref, which I have not mapped. I've been a bit busy this last week. The city of magitek wonders and home of Cal the gender-neutral, well, gender fluid, really. Weird as hell ancient copper dragon. There was possibly a little bit of a scene at the train station, but uh, a good one as far as that goes. Everybody's still getting some looks, and Remy gets occasional thumbs up as you head for the exits, which are marked in signs in at least half a dozen languages: Draconic, Elven, Sylvan, Dwarven, the usual ones, basically. So it's clearly an international sort of place. When you get outside, you know from having traveled that you've reached sunset coming into dusk. But it's kind of hard to tell because the entire place is lit up with those little bitty miniature suns. And it's not just, well, frankly, light bulbs. You get some signs that instead of just being etched into wood or metal are actually appear to be colored light in tubes. The green of Nye's Eldritch Blast, the purple of Darwin's Fairy Fire, just about any color you could conceivably think of. It's bright and it's colorful, and there's lots of noise and people wandering around and
Like Paylor's light, except that in the evening, what is even happening?
well, come on, you saw a little bit of this in Belarus. It just wasn't that, just wasn't this extreme before. Wow.
Yeah, that's the reason why freak out is happening all over again.
Yeah, you just sort of get Alice ruffling Hazel's hair and then Nye's hair. Guys, you've punched weirder.
Yeah, true. Still,
Technically speaking,
Perspective.
I don't punch.
Metaphorical punch, arcane punch. Yeah, I would not suggest switching on Eldritch Sight. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I think everything here is a little bit magic.
Yeah.
Too late.
Nye.
It's a reflex, okay?
You alright?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can technically say that, but we kind of have to qualify him as his own normal until we find a cure for doofus!
In the meantime, where to from here?
Well,
we need to find an inn, or whatever the equivalent is here, considering everything seems to glow.
I'm assuming they still have inns.
I think probably they have the same basic...
amenities.
Yes, thank you.
That's cool. It's just a matter of actually finding one.
Indeed.
Hang on a second. Just wait there. I'll be right back. And she goes back into the train station and lets you look around.
Good idea.
So I'm just going to do a 360 and look for anything that says
Yeah.
information, I guess.
Yes, same. I'm just looking around.
Perception check for anyone who's having a look around.
All right. Let me, I have to alt
First
tab. I'm
roll.
only on one screen, so one sec.
I'm
Wrong button.
looking around for anyone resembling, say, halflings.
Oh, God. You in the half.
Yeah, wait for it. You just wait for it. This is gonna get stupid in about 3 seconds.
All right.
Oh, 17.
21.
I
Sorry, it's taking forever to load each.
It's
thing.
fine.
I gotta
It's fine. It's fine.
Don't worry.
We'll start with Hazel because Hazel is the one who's looking for something very, very specific.
Specific.
There are a lot of halflings here. The population, from what you can see on the rather crowded streets, is at least 35% halfling. There are a lot of very small people here.
I grabbed the back of her armor.
I'm vibrating in place, basically.
And most of them are along the same basic coloration as both Twilly and Lyra. Blondes or redheads, quite, peaches and cream pale.
And I've gone hypersonic.
Hazel.
No, I'm holding her armor. Holding her armor.
Yeah, there are looks when just going hypersonic from just the everybody walking by. A couple of them are doing that.
What was that?
The rest of you, and you're seeing a lot of signs, but it's impossible to tell from them what these things are. You see this one place that has the kind of look of an inn, but it turns out to be this. It's really weird. It seems to be some kind of theme restaurant, which is all clockwork and things powered by steam, and just about everything going to the tables is chocolate based on some level. So
That's
it's
not
very,
an
very
investigation
definitely not
either.
an inn.
I just look in, see clang, spring thing.
Yeah, you do
I
you
just-
do actually
I
get
just-
these little conveyor belts with chocolate
Beanbag,
desserts.
Mhm,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, okay, I'm intrigued, but at the same time,
It's weird.
not an inn. I'm going to step right back out and continue on.
Right.
Well, it's more looking in the window because just about every building in the
Okay.
place has the big plate glass windows, which is kind of new for you guys because most places just have the average windows. But here, just about everything on ground level is plate glass, so you can see what's going on in them. And what you have in the area around the train station seems to be largely eateries. You couldn't call them inns. You could barely call them pubs. They are drinking establishments, but there's one that's dark and intimate kind of thing, and people are drinking kind of fancy looking drinks in oddly shaped glasses, and there's some guy at a piano, and one of them seems to be entirely ice. When the door opens, you can. It's still quite chilly out, but when the door opens, you still get this boof of condensation as they step out.
That's one of
Still
those.
vibrating, still just looking around in sheer
I'm holding
glee.
on to her armor.
Not letting go for all you're worth.
I kind of imagine Froseth looking at the ice bar like, huh.
Yeah,
Those
hey,
exist too.
hey, Froseth, I found a place you can chill.
Alice comes out in time for that and upside his head.
Okay, I heard that one. I
I
heard
was
that.
gonna
I
do
heard
this
that.
same.
I
You
heard
too.
that one.
Silent
Beat me
image.
to
You
it.
got made of flying at Darwin.
You got your hands full over there, Amy.
Yeah, he's right. And what you're doing is probably a lot more important from Ms.
Fair enough.
Ms. Hyperactive
Fair
halfling
enough.
fetishist over here.
Hazel, calm down for the love of Pedal.
I got this, and holds up this folded up piece of. It's like parchment, but it's kind of laminated, and and printed on the front is places to stay in Egref.
Oh,
What would we
brilliant.
do without you?
Like I turn around and basically move to essentially run right up to Alice, say, "Stop vibrating."
Dragging Ava with you, apparently.
Kinda, yeah.
Contested strength check from the both
Oh,
of you.
I saw that coming.
Hazel! Strength
Beep,
is
beep.
not my strong suit. Where's strength? Oh yes. Up here. Oh!
Oh, wow.
No way!
Hazel is pulled up short because Ava has had enough of this bullshit.
It hurts, but I'm holding.
You calm down.
Right.
And 1 second.
And then she grabs Hazel by both shoulders. Let her go. Lift. Nose to nose. Calm the fuck down.
Working on it.
Remember the thing I ever told you about breathing? Do it for me. One more time. Okay.
Vibrating's actually slowing.
Okay, one more time until the vibrating stops.
Let's see.
It's like a generator finally winding down.
Bunk. Back on her feet.
I can hear the ticking.
Place is
I wonder-
awesome.
I wonder if prestidigitation can be used to splash water on someone.
Actually, Froseth can do that a little bit easier than cantrips.
Yeah.
But let's not do it here, because...
We already probably drawn more attention than we need.
Which, to be fair, in a place this... In the
Late for
place...
that.
To be fair, in a place this active, attracting any attention at all is probably no mean feat. But I think splashing water where you might hit a pedestrian as well is probably not the best idea.
Indeed.
Anyway, there's a few places we could stay from what I'm seeing, but it depends on what kind of thing we're after. There's whole bunches of places sort of dotted around the city with the same name, which is kind of
What?
weird.
Really?
It's the same name? How does
Yeah,
that even work?
and no, I guess somebody owns a whole bunch of the same kind of.
I was gonna say they're like a chain or something.
Yeah, that's the problem. Chains.
Chains aren't a thing.
Yeah. But they're called the Honeycomb, and from what it looks like from this pamphlet thing, it's basically just these tiny little rooms,
Nope.
like
No.
one like, and she just shows a picture, which really is
Like the Japanese sort.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
That actually does look a lot like a honey.
Yeah, it does now that you think about it. It does.
Mhm.
Are you like what? Supposed to like slide in feet first? and
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
There's a little more space than that, but it's basically like closet with bed, very small sort of closet-ish kind of space, and
Guess it works for halflings.
guess it works for anyone who's not staying in their room for overly long periods of time. Which, looking at this place, I can imagine why somebody might think that they weren't gonna spend
Hmm.
a great deal of time in their rooms.
I mean, I guess if you just need a place to sleep,
Mm.
or in my case, to go horizontal for a while.
Can you do it horizontally? I mean, would you have to be sitting up?
I can do it pretty much anything.
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, you've got Alice just.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that you just gave those two an opening.
Haven't tried standing up yet. I think I might fall over.
Just never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
What?
Does the thing have a normal inn?
That's the thing. They don't have a normal inn like we know them. That doesn't exist here. There's really tiny. There's incredibly fucking fancy. There's this thing that kind of looks like, I don't know, cardboard boxes with the most dull rooms imaginable.
Yeah.
But there's not what we'd think of as an inn.
So there's nothing that can be defined as normal.
Well, not
No,
by
there's
our
nothing
standards,
we would
no.
define as normal.
I was about to say you did look around, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just
Well, I mean,
Darvin. What do you think I've been doing?
Vibrating and generally freaking out, same as always.
I mean,
You asked.
I need to go see these places. I need to go see everything.
oh, for God's sake.
We've got business, Hazel.
Exactly, we're not here for
I
any
know we
vacation.
do. I still have to go see everything.
Oh, good grief.
Anyways,
Well, whichever
Well,
works for you,
well,
I'll
well,
to
follow
go
you
to a
guys.
honeycomb, we'll go to a
We have
honeycomb.
priorities.
Well,
I'm not. I'm not trying to make any kind of decision one way or another. I'm just.
Well, it doesn't
Are
look
we?
like
Are
got
we
that
going
much.
by location? Are we going by where we actually care about staying?
I
Well,
think
what-
we care about staying because I don't think any of us want to be jammed into closets.
Yeah,
Well,
because
because
Well,
I'm
I mean,
super
that's
keen on the
sleeping
idea.
outdoors.
I
sort of,
assumed
And
if we were-
especially, should there be an emergency of any kind, it's not going to be the easiest thing to get out of in a hurry. Is also what I'm thinking.
well, to be honest, I've got one pretty compelling reason why a honeycomb wouldn't work. Points at Froseth.
Yeah, I was actually
Yeah.
thinking you might find it a bit tight as well. I was like, because you're pretty tall.
To be fair, she's only a little bit taller than Hazel, so she's around about your ish level, maybe an inch or so taller. She's not overly built, she's wiry.
Uh,
uh,
yeah, that's
I'm-
true. Yeah,
I'm
Froseth
still-
would not be comfortable in one of those.
I'm
I don't
still a
think
little
he
confused.
folds.
I mean, he folds, he is dexterous,
I
but that
fold.
doesn't mean that he's gonna be comfortable. That's like, do we really want to cram the dragon in the egg all over again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the thing is, we don't seem to have a huge amount of options.
Oh no,
'Cause
there's
I'm
a
guessing the
fancy
fancy stuff
bland
is
or
going to be.
squished?
You would
Look,
think they would
there's-
have something
there's-
middle of the road.
That's the thing. There's too many of everything. How about this? Because we all seem to be a little bit undecided. How about we go by moderately close to points to the very well lit up government building.
That was
Yeah,
going to be my next
that
suggestion.
works.
There's
That seems like a
one
good
there's
idea.
one place called the Riddler Stump out in that general direction. It seems to be a family run place. And there's no downstairs, kitchen, so you can't get food there. And it
Okay.
looks like somebody took a house and kind of made the rooms into guest rooms and shows it. It's basically the equivalent of a British bed and breakfast.
Oh,
That'll work. I like this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah, somebody's gone a little bit overboard with the flower wallpaper, but beyond that.
I think we can live with a little flower wallpaper.
Okay, and it checks the little map on the other side of the thing. Can anybody else fucking navigate? Because our only other option besides somebody who can read a damn map of an actual urban setting is me switching on the tattoo and going at it from an aerial approach.
I can try.
I've got the thing.
Hands the map to Nye and points out where the Riddler Stump is supposed to be on the map.
Okay.
What thing are you referring to?
Remy gives Nye a look.
Give it to
Okay.
me.
No, it's
That'll work.
it's the what he means by he has the thing in character, because you can't really describe a feat that way when you're talking in character.
Ah,
I threw it in chat.
I see.
That way.
Okay.
As long as you're
We're
sure.
walking. We're walking.
We're walking.
I'm keeping
we're
an eye
walking.
around us because I'm not sure what he's doing. So
Yeah, but you're seeing a lot of, as you get away from sort of the train station area, you pass a desperate lot of eateries, and then you sort of start fading into what seems to be some kind of fashion district. the clothes types, as you've seen on the people who are apparently locals, is very colorful. The cuts are very interesting, and most of the fabrics don't look like anything you've ever seen before. Um, they've got a kind of stretch that you've never seen. So yeah, and a certain. I mean, some of them almost seem to glow in the right kinds of light.
I'm as we're passing this, while Nye is still within like visual range for me to like keep track of where he's going. I'm going to make a slight detour to go look in the window of one of these things.
Yeah.
As long as I can still until he starts sort of leaving where I can see him peripherally, and then I'm gonna go after him.
Do I spot her doing that?
Yes, but one thing, because she's only doing the kid pressed nose to window for a second. You remember Cyberdog?
Oh God! I found that.
Yeah, basically the window that she's looking into. Some of this shit actually glows. It's if you've ever seen the sort of cyberpunk kind of clothing thing, that is what you're looking at. The inside is largely dark, but half of the wares are glowing. Alice is looking and then going, That's a skirt?
Apparently,
Neat.
that looks cool.
Do I notice everyone else getting distracted?
Well, probably, yeah. They're not exactly being subtle about it.
It's either a skirt or a handkerchief.
No, the top's more the handkerchief. The
Um,
skirt, I think most people would wear as a sash or a belt.
Good point. Good point.
I'm standing by Naya, keeping, looking.
No, I'm heading back.
It's like
No, I'm still with you. I'm still with you.
If everyone else is looking in the window, I'm going to look in the window.
Look at
Why
these
are-
pants, they're like a net.
Okay, the fur boots, but what the fuck kind of animal is that color, that shade of pink? How does that shade of pink exist?
It must
Is
have
that
been
something-
dyed.
Is
Magic?
That that's something to go around someone's ribs. It looks rather tight.
How do you breathe through that?
Mm.
Through sheer force of will and faith.
What's wrong with
Probably.
more ordinary stuff like what we've got? Honestly,
A very
I like it. This is cool.
a gnome with white hair streaked with the rather improbable
Oh,
shade of purple pokes his head out the door and goes, Can I help you?
Just
This
looking.
stuff is amazing. How the colors? How?
Oh, Hazel.
Interesting dye plants and magic.
Oh, wow, I was right.
That's good to know. Thank you. And
Okay,
she
Okay.
nudges Hazel along.
team. You know what's her name with the tea trays? We must never let her come here.
no.
Actually, you guys remember that her adopted brother said she wasn't allowed within 10 miles of this city.
Oh,
Sweet.
right, yeah.
This explains that.
Yes.
Yeah, this explains the whole Sweetwater thing.
You know the Sweetwaters?
I was taught by Mira, the
Uh,
Oh.
cleric one.
That is okay. Is
We've also met the other one.
She's a handful.
Met.
she
Not
never
associated
she
with.
never comes here. No.
No. You know.
Those tea tray things, they fly.
No, and runs back into the shop.
Hazel, remember we mentioned oversharing?
Boy, hey, well, making friends and influencing people.
dropping
Come on, let's
names,
just keep moving.
the locals.
Let's. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm just.
Let's
yeah.
just keep moving.
Okay,
we don't want to
map
stay stuck
back
out here.
out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. That hairpiece is giving me a migraine.
I don't know if they had that kind of stretchy outfit in a less offensive color. Nothing should be that shade of green.
Yeah, well, nothing
Really
should.
looks
they have it in
between
another color.
Alisa and the outfit.
Yeah, well, hair shouldn't change color that quickly. Ow.
I don't know. I've seen some people. Of course, it was
Fair.
usually magic, but straight magic, not whatever this weirdness is.
You still know where you're going,
Cool.
Nye?
He still knows where
Hmm?
you're going. Yeah, looks up from the map. Yeah, that. And yeah, you pass other shops. There are some that are, again, a lot of leather, brass. The clocks feature a lot. Clocks and buckles and these weird hats that kind of look like stovepipes. And
I kind of like as we're passing some of these, I'm kind of eyeing them warily because after seeing that chocolate shot, I'm half expecting to see a jacket just go and shoot steam off. I'm like, someone's gonna go scoring and I'm gonna get hit in the eye.
That is a very tall hat.
yeah, there's others which are a lot of velvet, a lot of lace, a lot of black.
Ooh.
Winds up looking at this pair of rather high boots with a lot of buckles, and I like those.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say I could get behind that. Yeah.
Little
I started
little
staring
less
into the
some
middle
of the
distance.
fluff, but
Is it gothic Lolita, basically?
it's gothic Lolita and some actual straight up goth. So
Yeah,
you get
Hazel's currently staring into the middle distance, fantasizing a little bit.
you kind of got then you got Alice looking you're going, okay, aren't corsets mostly worn under things instead of as an actual although I can see that.
Slowly turning red.
Anyway,
Yeah. It's only passing comments as they keep walking. She's not gonna press her nose against windows like Hazel did, but I got
Eva's
Looking
keeping
like
an eye out
all
for
along,
a gift shop or something like that.
there's what do you mean by a gift shop?
Well, like, I don't know, something that looks clearly souvenir.
You actually,
Deal.
given some of your roles, you actually would have seen a few of those closer to the train station.
Hmm. Makes sense.
Ow!
You
You
okay?
alright?
I poked myself on this.
Oops.
Having jewelry that's out to get you is. I think a terrible lot of women can
Relate,
sympathize. As if although it's not just their jewelry, it's half the things they end up being expected to wear.
Hmm.
In any case, eventually you get into an area that looks actually kind of residential, although it's probably a bit more comfortable for Remy and Alice because it's basically houses built right up next to each other, and the concept of a lawn or yard is non-existent. And eventually, one house in the middle of the row has a rather smaller, rather more discreet sign that's just lit up by a couple of those little suns, so none of the glowy stuff. The entire road actually looks more muted and quieter than most of the rest. We cannot see you anymore, Ben.
That is because my internet just went cute.
Fair enough.
Thank the gods for swift transfer.
Yeah, the entire road is quieter and a little bit, well, nothing in this place is completely dark, but there's only little globes of light on poles every so often, rather than the screaming brightness of the roads that you just passed. And in bronze, cursive kind of writing on a plain wooden sign is the Riddler's stump.
Oh, well done, Nye.
How did you do that?
I think he can just do things like that.
Well, I mean,
I mean, it's not the sort of map I'm used to, but
He knows how to map.
Cardinal directions don't cut through those little squares because those little squares are probably buildings. Mm.
Well,
And we
Here
go.
we go, I guess.
yeah, I was about to say, shall we go? Shall we go?
Dude, you lead this band of.
Merry Yahoos.
So
There you
Darwin will just walk up and try the door.
Well, there's actually a doorbell.
Oh, okay. Then I will ring the door. I will.
Which actually plays a jaunty little tune.
Don't think I recognize that one.
And the door opens, and what you get is a halfling with a terrible lot of very, very curly blonde hair. So, hello.
Hello.
From the back. Hello.
Hi.
I take it that you're looking for rooms.
Yes.
Yes.
I am Polly, and
Nice to meet
welcome
you.
to the Riddler Stop. Come.
Thank you very much.
Now, how many rooms are we looking at? She leads you into sort of an entry hall, which is, again, flowered wallpaper, lots of
we're happy to
pictures,
among-
lots of paintings of kittens on walls.
Aw.
And
Oh,
there
that
are
is
there are
adorable.
there are cats. So many cats.
Oh boy.
We're happy to
Oh.
bunk together if that's easier.
Crouching down. I'm like crouching down and like trying to get a cat's attention very carefully.
Most of them are actually quite old. So one of them is sort of looking up, and the rustiest.
Mm-hmm.
You are so cute.
I take in the older cats so that they are not wandering the streets and possibly being hit by conveyances.
Aw, that's so good of you.
How fast do things go around here?
That depends. We have the steam powered, and we have the magic powered, and we have the electric trams.
The-
Yes.
The what?
Is how you get around as larger group. You see, there are if you look at the roads, there are tracks, and on
Oh.
a set schedule, you have these little boxcar train things with seats, open
Like
sides,
a
but
train.
roof.
It's a mini train.
Yes.
Oh.
Except it is attached to a wire hung above, and this powers what is needed to make it go. Is how you
Oh.
get around for the most part. It saves the walking.
It's really cool.
That's clever.
Fascinating. Now as far as rooms, I don't think we'd actually decided if there are any rooms large enough for us to bunk.
Oh
I'm sure
no, this was at one point home for people, and rooms for all of you at once is probably unless you are very, very friendly. And even then I would have some concerns over the integrity of the bed.
My apologies. I misspoke. I didn't mean all of
I
us
don't. We
in
what by bunk we
once.
meant like group, like
two
or
to three,
or-
two or three.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two or three would probably be well enough. However, please do expect that you will end up sharing room with at least one cat.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
fine.
That is perfect.
Oh,
I
they
would-
don't
I would
mind
love that.
They don't mind dogs, a plushy dog, do they?
I do
They
not.
poke out butterscotch, sort of show them.
The cats sort of look at this thing and it's like, you are neither food nor interesting.
A very cat reaction.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
So many of you are just like nope.
But butterscotch though is basically doing that. There are friends, and trying to get out of the bag.
You stay here, buddy.
He's actually giving you the puppy eyes, but it's just like, but there's friends.
No.
You're literally getting puppy dog eyes.
Well, Flitty, meanwhile,
No.
is sort of perched next to one of the cats and is going, hello.
I don't think they understand you, Flitty.
I know, but I'm still saying hello. It's polite.
Not Flitty.
Cat sort of extends paw. Flitty sort of does the little fairy dragon fist bump. Cat goes.
The hell?
I made
If I hadn't
friends.
seen that, I would not have believed that.
I saw it and I still don't believe it.
And then flies up to the top of Ursa's head in Draconic. I made friends. The cat is still looking at this thing. You know that. What?
The cat, like,
Look.
The what the fuck look from a cat.
Let's just get the room, shall we? Before
Yeah,
it's called
so,
a catastrophe.
Given how many have
A
Let's see,
catastrophe.
there's
Oi.
Oh
there's
god.
Ava. So we'll need
We're
at
fine
least
with sharing a room with the cats. Don't worry.
He'll
Oh,
be back
internet,
his
yeah.
the way you figure it is probably 3 rooms.
Mhm.
Remy and Alice, Ava and
Yep,
Hazel,
yep,
and
yep, and the rest of us. Yep, that's
yes, so
exactly what I was going.
we do have one room that is a little bit larger and has a reclining armchair. You may not have seen one. I should show you how it works.
Yes, that would probably be best.
All right, if you wait right there.
Mhm.
I do breakfast in the morning, but it's not much of a muchness. Is mostly bagels, cream cheese, smoked salmon. You have never heard of any of this shit.
Blink, blink, blink,
That
blink,
sounds
blink,
fine.
confusion.
That's
Oh,
okay.
you have never had bagels?
No.
It reaches up and gives Hazel the cheek pinch. I have so much to teach you. And reaches into a locked drawer in an end table, grabs 3 keys. Cup.
I wonder if Mom and Mama would be able to do bagels if I got them the stuff to do bagels.
Anyone can do bagels if they have the means and the recipes to do so. There are some recipes that are superior to others. I get mine from a wonderful baker a block and a half that way. They do some very interesting things. Has any of you heard of baklava? No.
It's like blank expression.
I don't suppose that David or I would have.
Nope.
Nope. I mean, I have, but not Darvin.
Yeah, well, I've sort of. I think I know it's Turkish, but that's about it.
It's wonderful stuff.
Isn't that no, it's not Turkish delight.
No,
Something else, isn't
it's more of a sort of a flaky pastry with like nuts and honey and
Oh yeah,
bits
right,
and
right,
pieces.
right.
Turkish
Also, out of
delight.
character,
Mm.
bagels and cream cheese and salmon are what I have for breakfast this morning. Get out of my head. Or, stomach or whatever.
Ew!
Yeah, I was about to say no. That's no.
No.
Anyway,
Yes. And
That's not like an odd mix though.
she shows you up to rooms. The
Mhm.
first one she shows you is she basically starts from the top going down. So
Mhm.
up on the top floor there's a moderately large room, twin beds and a squishy chair with a handle on the side, and she turns around to now you sit down in that chair and you pull the handle.
Do it.
go ahead, Nye.
I promise will not hurt you.
We have
And
Hazel.
you
You'll be fine.
froze.
Yeah, great.
Oh. Man,
Try not make it come to that.
He
We've
will
only been in trouble once for
he
that.
will not hurt him. And yeah,
I never
no,
thought-
I'm sure it won't.
I never
But
thought I'd
must-
say we have
must have
Hazel,
seen
you'll be
some sort
fine.
of fancy chess.
at which point you have Alice say, grab Darvin by the face. How many times has she saved people in this group's fucking life?
Mine at least.
Well, no, she's got you by the face.
Oh,
So you're sort of.
yeah. Mine at least 3 times, I think.
She
If I
brought
remember
me back from the fucking dead. You can tease Hazel about anything else, but not about her healing skills. Are we clear?
Yes. Okay.
She does have a fair point.
Let's
would-
go.
I wasn't teasing about Hazel's healing it. I was teasing. Never mind. It wasn't Hazel. It was supposed to be.
Still,
That
no,
wasn't- that wasn't-
I go sit on the chair.
Sit on chair and pull handle.
Sorry, Hazel.
Sit
It's fine.
down. looks
Misdirected
down at the
ribbing.
handle.
You've
down.
you've been in a recliner. It's the only way you can pull it, basically. So it's pull up and okay, that's
You know,
cool.
when I joked about horizontal elf earlier,
Well, that's
Hey, look, it's an elfin recline.
that's more diagonal, but okay, whatever.
I demand a dock an XP for that.
If I docked an XP for any time any one of you made a bad pun,
We
you
don't
would
get
be
level
going
one.
you would be going backwards through the levels by now.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know, but still, I'm running with it because that's what I do.
Yeah. That's in a shell nut.
At this, I will show the others to their room. Make yourselves comfortable.
Mhm.
Now, and as she steps down with the ladies of the group, now, which ones of you would prefer the window with the view upon the street, and which would prefer the room with the view onto the back garden?
Oh, I'll take garden. Please.
I guess we're getting the street then, which I guess makes a certain amount of sense. We're
Oh,
kind of
if you want the garden, that's
no,
fine.
no, it's fine. We're probably more used to city light coming in through the windows than you are.
That's fair.
Sorry, Hazel.
I'm just picturing. Yeah, I was picturing
It's
Hazel
okay.
with her nose up against the window all night.
Although,
Never mind me, just looking out the window.
although when she looks out the window in the the room with the view onto the garden, it's very yellow.
Wow.
Daffodil,
Baylor.
dude,
Ah,
daffodil wallpaper, matching bedspread.
that's a lot of yellow.
This room does not get as much light as some of the others, so I picked colors that reflected light to ensure that you did not have to switch the lights on too much during the day.
Oh, I see.
And when Hazel looks out the window, it looks almost exactly like Mama's kitchen garden.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
That is a gorgeous garden. Do you tend to it?
This is
Yes,
like Hearth
yes, I
Home
do.
all over again.
Hearth home?
Oh,
That's it. That would be a wonderful name for an inn.
Well, it's where Mom and Mama raised me and all the other kids. They adopt a lot.
Like I do with cats, except with young people.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is commendable.
I agree.
You speak of your mom and mama as though I should know them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Miranda and Twilly Hearthheart. Twilly was quick flight at one point.
Oh,
They know a lot of people.
Tick 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 clunk.
yes. I will neglect to mention to my brother that any of the quick flight Hearthheart children have been here. He never entirely got over having his suit of Twila rejected because she preferred women and adventure to lifetime chained to miserable Yahoo.
We appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Thank
You're not
you.
there.
Boy, I'm
No,
glad
you
I'm
are,
in
sorry.
my room.
Sorry, you are, you
Because I would have been cackling.
Well, Alice A is kind of leaning behind the bed, just.
Laurie to adventure.
But yes, the quick flights they do they do business in the area. There are many quick flights in Egref.
Many.
Oh, cousins upon cousins.
Brief hypersonic squeak.
Oh, please.
Hazel.
I
Sorry.
think I should probably go lie down. We will discuss how long you wish to stay and what rooms cost in the morning. over pickles and cream cheese and smoked salmon.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And sort of walks off, rubbing at her temple.
Is it the door closed? Or
If you guys want to close it.
well, it was mostly to. Well, I'm afraid if I let out the butterscotch, he's going to run around.
Well, you can shut the door. So
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
as
I'll
you're
shut
as
it for
you're
safety.
as you're unpacking stuff, you've got butterscotch, yum 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 yum, and
Also,
under the bed.
Also, somewhere nearby, I just heard a hypersonic screech. What do you think?
Alice just kind of shrugs and goes into the front room and starts sort of offloading stuff. Although she leans out and goes, "We might want to collect everybody and try to decide what we want to do about dinner."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what to do in general, what our plan is from this point.
That sounds like a good discussion.
Yeah, but
over dinner.
over food, because you know Darvin's stomach's gonna make that noise. And in fact, from the floor above, you hear he's gonna scare the cats.
I think they're used to stuff like that by now.
Well, you hear butterscotch.
Oh no, the one in the room just like heard that and kind of went.
Meow.
Well, not even. They don't. They're not particularly vocal cats. They just give you that kind of offended look.
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
A grumpy cat.
how
look.
dare you speak to me in that fashion? It was basically the look.
Ava's hearing very quiet thumps, and if she looks under the bed, she sees Butterscotch playing with dust bunnies. Well, a dust bunny. There aren't very many, and he's gambling out of immediate reach. Just...
You cheeky little thing! Get here now!
Then does the apologetic, "Please still love me?"
Sorry about that.
You got a sweetie.
What was that?
Hazel just went, "You've got a sweetie."
Oh. I don't think that'll work.
So
I don't really eat.
No, she is calling Butterscotch a sweetie. You
Oh.
you have a sweetie.
Oh.
Because
Yay!
Butterscotch has sort of come out from under and done the four, and it's giving you the "Do you still love me?" look.
Well, of course I do. Yes, I do.
Pale tail.
You want to hold him a bit, Hazel? Now you be good.
Flailing.
Don't squish him too hard.
flailing paws. Oh my god, that's too cute.
Like, okay, giving him
Does
a
he
little
lick?
bit more.
No, more
slack and
nuzzles.
Give the dog proper slack in terms of like not being squished and
Yeah,
scritches.
looks at you a little bit warily for a minute, and then poof, nuzzle. Yeah, so
There's
there's
a new one.
there's squeaking
can
from
hear it.
over there, and there's grrr from upstairs, and Alice, who has taken almost no time putting her shit away, is just sort of going, "Should we collect people before the orchestra really kicks into high gear?"
Good idea.
You get the guys. I'll deal with the hypersonic Hazel over here. At which point you hear wham,
Remy
wham,
Trump
wham. Food.
Coming.
They're up.
Remy trumps downstairs, back to the other room.
Up. They're up.
Upstairs.
They're a floor up. So you hear the pitter patter of little feet that really want to be heard stomping.
I'm already up and opening and at the door and say, "Food?
Yes.
Awesome."
Whereas you guys are getting wham, wham, wham. Come on.
Coming. Put him back in the bag. Come on, Hazel.
And
Still-
Flitty is sort of going, "Yay, food! But there's so much food!"
As
Rumble,
Naya
rumble.
attempts to get out of the recliner
Put some-
without remembering to unrecline it first.
Dude,
You
no,
watch him sort of basically,
no. Squirm.
yeah.
Dude,
And finally,
pull
like, kind of flop out over the side.
oh lord.
And we hear a thump, and about 5 different cats look up and bristle.
Nah, you were supposed to
Oh,
move that. I think you're supposed to move the handle back the way it was before you got out.
We've got Alice looking up at the ceiling going, what
Oh.
the fuck?
That would have been a good idea, yes.
So maybe you can do that before
Bend-
you get back in. And
Bending
then,
over, experimenting with the lever. Yeah.
Yeah, you figure it out. It's just a bit of forgetfulness. And eventually you all meet back up in the and you get Polly in a little rocker knitting what appears to be the world's longest scarf. Apparently she's not knitting because she wants to make something, she's just knitting for the sake of knitting.
that is a lot of scarf. That is all the scarf.
Oh, this is only this year I have been a little bit busy. It would
That
be
is
it was
the
longer last year.
Wow.
Okay, the silver keys are the ones to your room. The bronzish key is the one to the front door.
Okay.
thank you very
You
much.
can come in as you like, but please, after 10 p.m., please to be slightly quiet.
Yep.
We'll do our best.
Of
Yes.
course.
Well, some of us are know,
She's looking at
heavier
Nye.
than others.
So
Goes
we'll do
back
our
to her
best.
knitting. And you got Alice going, I don't want to know what you were about to just say, do you? Nor do I.
Mm-mm.
I was just thinking of Hazel's routine squeakiness.
Yeah.
I've got the boots. I'm quiet.
What was that thud then?
That was me not hitting boots first.
Alice just shakes her head and walks out the door.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
we're
just
I'm
gonna-
fine.
following
let's
Alice.
just go. Polly, before I forget, would there be any place relatively nearby that you would recommend for a larger meal?
Oh. That entirely depends on what kinds of things that you enjoy.
Oh goodness, there are that many around.
Well, there is 2 stops down on the tram that way. There is an entire restaurant district, restaurant and
Oh.
theater and
Oh goodness.
what is called open mic nights and nightclubs and such things. Nightclubs is where you go and they are playing music and is a place where you dance. Dance and drink and party.
Yeah, not exactly what we're wanting, especially given. Yeah, no, that won't. That's not. But yeah, no. So you said it was 2 stops
On
on
the
the tram.
the tram stops at the corner and you take it for 2 stops in the northeasterly direction and you
Okay.
you cannot miss it.
Okay. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful evening. If we do come back come back after 10, we will be as quiet as possible.
Thank you very much and I will see you for breakfast.
Yes. Bagels, cream cheese, and smoked salmon. I have no idea what any of that is, but it's going to be amazing.
Yes, it is. Enjoy your evenings. And goes back to her knitting.
So, shall we go find the tram and take it a couple of stops down and see what we end up with?
Oh, with with what we've had to deal with the last little while, I figure, okay, maybe not this nightclub thing, but we definitely need a bit of a night.
It's a place. I kind of want to see one of these places 'cause it sounds like awesome because dancing.
Not
You want to see
Given-
everything, hey?
yeah, well, not
Not right now. We have stuff
yeah.
to discuss right now, but maybe we can do it as a celebration thing once we get your bottled lightning.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you. That was
That'll work.
exactly where I was going.
And you head off to the corner where you see this just this little sign with a. It kind of looks like a longer version of the gazebo that you guys met the Draco Lich at, and that's the only thing that's on the sign. Except it's got little wheels on the bottom. Very
mean, that-
little wheels on the bottom.
Kind like okay.
It looks like a train.
Kinda, yeah.
You got Alice looking at the road and going, rails.
I mean,
Hmm.
yeah,
Just
I
on
mean,
the right-
there are rails. There's that. It looks kind of like a train. I'm assuming this is
I
the right
stopped
spot.
myself before I made a stupid pun.
Gotta go fast.
What? Because I'm going to be upset that I didn't think of it.
I was going to say it's like we're on the right track.
Bravo. Well played. Well
No,
played.
it was terrible. It was terrible.
And as you're half applauding, half groaning at this, you hear ding a ding a ding a ding a ding from sort of the
I guess
southwest.
that's it coming.
And you see the one little light getting closer. Because it's starting to get dark now. And
Oh.
as it approaches, you basically see this little platform on wheels, roofed off, lots of wooden bench kind of seats, and
Oh.
a gnome kind of at the front with a weird little box. It's got a few people in it, a couple of humans, one half elf, and a family of gnomes at the back. And heading for the eatery district.
Yes, what's the fare?
Yes, please.
2 coppers apiece.
Okay, so 14.
Alice is digging around in hers, and he holds out the little box, and she's like, chink, chink. Okay, coins go in the little box.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I'll pull out a couple of coppers myself. Chink.
I've only got gold.
I think we can assume that you've made some change at some
Oh,
point.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
and-
gonna waver. I'm not gonna.
I'm still in my 25 gold from the first game.
Ava, here, I got it. Chink, chink.
Marvin,
Too late. Already done. Get on.
You need to make some change at some point.
thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else need? Yeah. I'm used to
I'm just
running
handing
this.
Darvin a gold. Me, please. Sorry.
Chink, chink. Handing it back. Handing the gold back.
Think, think.
Once everybody has
Mhm.
has been paid up for, and Flitty is sort of going, do I need to pay a fare? You do not occupy a seat, young dragon. You occupy a head, apparently. You may therefore share the fare of your dragon friend.
Thank you.
And then with a ding a ding a ding, you chug off. It's not very fast, but it's faster than walking, but it affords a good view of the houses. They're quite colorful, and while they don't have yards or gardens exactly, a lot of them have really nice window box flower displays. And as you keep going, you notice that up ahead of you, it's starting to get rather brighter and back into that colorful
Flashy.
kind of.
Oh, hello. Here we go.
And
So,
what
like,
does
complete-
hit you?
like, open-sided or glass-sided or?
It's open. It's not going fast enough to really need protection from
From the
outside.
elements.
And the gnome who's fare taking basically goes, is also good when someone is running late, and they can simply run and hop on if they are fit enough for such.
Oh.
It's basically those things in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's a trolley.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a trolley. It's a San Francisco trolley. Yes.
And eventually you start coming into places where every building you pass seems to bring a new nice cooking smell.
After the first, like about 3 of them go by, and you just hear.
Yeah, 2. But the one slightly quieter,
Slightly more muffled.
but still audible. And a very flushed face on Ava.
People's
I
bodies
just
make
glanced-
noise. It's a thing.
I just glanced over at Ava. Nice resonance.
Bye.
That was not the intent, but thanks.
The trolley pulls to a stop, and Eatery District.
Shall we?
That's
And I'm already
Thank
hopping
you.
off.
following.
I see what you meant about too much choice now.
Yeah,
Whoa.
indeed.
I
I don't even
want.
know what half of all this stuff is.
Maybe we
I don't
should have
know what-
asked the person running the thing for a recommendation.
I did.
Did.
No, he
just
meant
asked
he
for
meant the
directions.
trolley. He meant the guy on the trolley who's
Oh,
taken his fares from the other people and is now coasting away.
I thought you meant. Sorry, Nye. I thought you meant Polly.
No, I said the guy, didn't I? Just don't know
Some
what to call
people
him.
some people consider guy gender neutral.
A
Yeah.
pilot, a driver, a.
I think he.
Well-
I didn't see him driving anything, so I figure he was just the fare taker.
That works.
Seemed to drive itself.
Hmm. Well, it had a
Yeah.
track. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not sure what some of this stuff is. I know I would like something substantial,
Yeah.
something solid and hearty. That's what I'd like. But I'm not sure what here qualifies.
Mm.
Well, they're bound to have like. I did hear at the Tipsy Pixie one individual who's traveled around. They were talking about places that specialize in like steak.
That would work.
That sounds amazing.
Basically, look for anything that is themed around cow.
Not
yeah,
moose.
that's probably
Can do
not a
that.
bad. Yeah.
Not.
Not moose. Can do that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me about that.
Sorry.
No, I'm just making sure that I remember and understand the joke
Yeah.
as much as I can when it's an in joke.
And I'm not going to make an in pun. Anyway. Considering
Don't-
we were just looking.
Don't make
Considering we were just looking for one.
don't make me grab you by the face again.
That was not comfortable.
Yes, that's the point.
Yeah. Well, and that was a fair point. That was a misdirected ribbing. So I apologize.
It
Again.
was a good thing we got the right information there.
Grabs you by the
Why?
face.
Wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Grabs Nye by the face.
I just immediately stepped back and went, "Not me."
Back head
I didn't do
whack.
Yeah, so basically, squished face in front, head whap in the back. Basically, the two blondes are ganging up on you.
We are not amused.
it. Anyway.
I am too hungry
anyway.
for this shit.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm looking for cows.
Yeah, I'm looking around for
looking
anything
for
that looks
numbers.
that says meat.
There is to be
Not
food.
moose. Not moose. Not moose. Not moose. Not moose.
There is one. Actually, give me perception check.
Oh god.
Everybody who's looking.
Okay. 1 second,
Hold on.
because I got an alt tab.
we
go.
Wow,
Wow, Remy.
Perception.
Wow, nice.
19.
Proseth. Proseth is really hungry. 12.
Hazel's too
exciting.
busy.
Too excited.
Yeah, basically, Remy, Nye, Darvin, and Hazel in particular are too sort of thrown by
Dazzled.
diversity to really focus on anything. Froseth, Ava, and Alice do note that there is a spot a little ways down that does have a sort of a cow theme sign, and it's called Harley Surf and Turf.
Oh no.
And I'm still looking.
Well,
I'm
that looks
What looks?
What? What? Sorry, what?
points so that everybody notices it.
Yeah. Oh,
Harley, surf,
Yeah,
and
That
turf.
looks like.
I
does
know
that
the word
mean?
and.
You know the word surf? Come on, it
mean-
denotes seafood.
Oh, I'm from the
They're gonna
forest.
have
We don't do
fish.
seafood.
Okay, let's
Oh,
go.
isn't it like?
I have 2 words for you, asshat. Ocean hag.
you were on a boat.
Yeah,
That
surf is floating on water, isn't it?
Surf is either floating on water or tide movements.
Oh,
And I'm headed towards the restaurant.
Yep.
Uh,
following.
I heard seafood. I heard meat. I'm on the.
Yeah.
Or
I'm not running, I'm just-
in a restaurant form.
Yeah.
I'm just moving. I'm moving with a purpose. Is
Yes,
basically what I mean.
Cordially beelining in the general direction. Yeah, when you open it, when you open the door, because it's all been cooking smells so far, but what you're getting is, you know that flame grilled meat smell and
Oh no.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me.
heavy red wine, garlic butter.
I just, for a split second, like I'll walk in the door, step to the side so everybody else can walk in, and I'm just gonna breathe for a moment. Just, oh yeah.
Ava steps in and immediately.
Just immediately growl. Nah, Darvin's just breathing. Just take a moment to just take a real deep breath and then continue walking forward.
And
have
there's
followed Darwin.
there's actually a little podium, a little sign
Oh.
in multiple languages. Please wait to be seated.
Guys,
Um,
sorry. Wait right here.
And coming up to the podium is another halfling,
Oh.
sort of auburny, red hair, sort of going grey at the temples, but face, despite the aging, is clearly catching up a bit, made of freckles. Hello to you.
Hello.
Hi.
7 of us are here.
I think I can manage to suit you to a table. If you would like to come with me, grabs. They look like little, very, very thin leather-bound books. You guys have never seen a menu before. Not like that.
Huh. Okay.
And there's
And,
various people of various species. It's well attended place. The lighting is muted, and for the first time you're in some place that doesn't immediately look to be lit by artificial means, although if you look up at the light fixtures, it's just that those little glass-capped stars almost are just kept very dim, and there are candles on the tables as well.
I like this place. This is nice.
Yeah, it is.
I love
There,
that
there,
map.
there's no musicians, but there is music. The kind of band that you'd find at an upmarket inn. So quiet flutes and strings, but it's coming from seemingly nowhere.
What's that music coming
Very,
from?
very,
I didn't see any music.
very, very quiet in the background, and they let's leave us not split hairs. The maitre d' points to these little boxes hanging in the corners. They seem to be mostly wood, but mesh in the front. Is bottled music.
I love Egref.
Neat.
Huh.
Is not cheap, but it gives us more space for customers and less for entertainers who might badger for tips.
And
We wish to
I see.
offer a uninterrupted dining experience. Now, if you'd like to take a seat,
Darwin
And-
kind of blushes a little at the badgering for tips.
it's fine in inns, but not here.
Fair point.
And basically sits you guys down at a circular table, not quite in the middle of the room, that would, generally speaking, seat 8. And puts down one of those really thin little books. The wine list is at the front. Your server will come to take your order shortly. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you.
And
Thank you very,
ambles
very
back
much.
towards the front.
Ava looks through the. She's never. We've never seen anything.
I
like
have
it.
no. Yeah, this is totally new. Wow. This is so. We picked good.
Weird.
We?
Well, I mean, I'm the one that came up with the with hearty and substantial, and you came up with steak. So
I could have come up with about 8 different things that qualified as hearty and substantial, asshat. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle.
This place is amazing and very, very strange. I'm taking the menu and just sort of looking through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first page is a wine list. You uh have names for places you've never heard before, and in bracket sort of country names. So you get there's one under a header of dessert wines, which is apparently from Ambier, which, as you guys recall, is a very, very cold place. So imagining grapes from there is probably a little interesting.
Blink, blink, blink. What? Pointing at it.
Oh, ice wine. Yeah, it's
Fine.
Later.
it's a dessert wine. We had some at the Tipsy Pixie. But it was really expensive. But the girls shared around a bottle. Basically, it's made from frozen grapes, so the alcohol and the sweetness is all more concentrated. But it's something you really only have with desserts.
I see.
Makes sense.
But you know, every place else is sort of like spots around Alzor High, spots around what you guys mostly just know as the Heavens Ward. There's a couple of Belarus vintages, like 3 different Egref vintages, and the next pages are, and there's appetizers, there's like stuffed mushrooms, and something called an onion flower that you guys have absolutely no idea what the hell that's supposed to be.
I need to try this. I'm pointing at the onion flower.
Multiple different kinds of salad. There's
Are there
basically
pictures?
no.
Okay, what?
Pictures.
Next page is list of cuts of meat. Next page is entirely seafood, and sort of towards the bottom of that is a sort of selection of surf and turf platters, which is like one chunk of steak and either mussels, shrimp, lobster tail, or a medley of same.
Does Hazel know what a lobster is?
No.
I need to try that. And I'm pointing to whatever is like the steak lobster thing.
Is it as expensive as it would be in our world?
Not quite as. I mean, the thing is that in our world, lobster being expensive depends on where you live.
Right, makes sense.
And I mean, people who live in places like, coastal Maine, for example,
Or Boston.
a lot of those places will be like, they consider lobster to be, basic shit. It's just as you get further in, but you're quite close to the coast here.
So it would be pretty cheap.
Ish. I mean, it's 1 gold, 5 silver for just the surf and turf platter without the rest of it. Given this, you'd probably be looking at 3 gold for the works, appetizer, plate, wine, dessert.
I'm gonna go with the way my stomach's been going. I'm getting the works.
I think it would do.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm hungry, so I'm getting the works. I'm getting the whole shebang.
I need to try this onion thing and this lobster thing, and I'm just gonna follow your lead on whatever the last thing is.
I don't know what the onion thing is.
I'm thinking just stuffed mushrooms myself.
I don't know. I'm not sure if with Darwin being more on the coast. Well, I guess it would depend if it was more of an East Coast in-star coast or if it was more of a West Coast. If it was more of West Coast, no. If it was more of an East Coast, yes.
What are you asking?
If he knows lobsters.
You're on the same coast, so yeah, he does.
Okay. The lobster is, yeah, you try it. It's interesting to eat. It requires a lot of.
Well, it's only the tail, not the whole lobster.
It's not the whole thing. Okay, my bad. Yeah, if it's just for what, yeah, it's probably just going to be the one bit. So yeah. You can manage that without.
Well, you guys remember the crabs? Remember the sand crabs?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the sand crabs, except you're only getting the tail, so there's not quite so much the crunching.
the cracking and the
Okay.
snapping. Yeah.
And
Okay.
dismantling.
Yeah, you'll be
I
fine.
think I get it.
Yeah. So yeah. What about? I don't know about you guys, but that's what I'm getting.
I'm gonna stick to beef myself. Plain old beef.
Remy will get steak too.
Yeah.
Rosette is gonna go with the beef as well.
Alice is going to be doing the surf and turf, so it's sort of the steak, but in her case, it's going to be the garlic butter fried tiger prawns.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
there's a whole cavalcade of food right now.
Yeah, there's lots of garlic butter in Jarvan's future. He walked in, smelled that, and was like, "Oh, I need that." Oh, that's gonna happen.
This is going to be a meal because this is coming in courses, and you get this rather neatly dressed white shirt of a material that looks like silk, but Darvin knows isn't. And a simple little knee-length skirt, halfling, so it's not much skirt, but it is on her. You know, sensible little flat shoes, and the auburn red hair of the gentleman at the podium pinned up in a neat little bun. Hello to you. I am Megan, and I will be your server this evening. How may I help you? Would you like anything to drink to start with?
There's things other than water?
You did see the wine list, did you
in the
not?
front of the menu.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole step. Sorry, my brain is not
Well,
used
no,
to this.
and on the other page of that, there is a limited cocktail menu and soft drinks.
What are those?
They are
Drinks without alcohol.
well, that too, but I hear by your accents that most of you are not from this sort of area. They are flavored, sweetened drinks with effervescent fizziness.
I need to try this.
Oh no.
So soda.
Yeah,
it's
looking at well, there's cola, there's root beer, there's ginger beer, there's lemonade, which would be 7-Up to you guys, and ginger beer and ginger ale are two entirely different things, which you guys don't entirely get why.
The lemonade thing.
What's the ginger ale?
I'll try the root beer.
Root beer.
It has beer in the name.
Yes,
I know
it
it's
is.
not alcoholic, but it just sounds funny.
Is there something, one of these effervescent ones that's fruit flavored, but maybe not lemon?
We do have orange. It's right down at the bottom there.
Oh God, not on orange soda. Okay, that's for me.
I am going for the cola. I had that once. I liked it.
I'll go with the
Like-
lemon.
And would you like appetizers, or are you ready to order your entire meal?
Yeah.
Both, I
For,
think.
for simplicity, I will say that you gave
Yeah,
orders.
we just,
I will come with your drinks and your appetizers when they are ready, and I hope that you enjoy your meals. And
thank you so
Thumbs up.
much.
How does this place work?
Like any
Magic?
eatery, mostly, I guess.
No. I mean Egref in a
Oh.
whole of Egref. This whole place
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah, attack and
Like I
magic,
said,
I guess.
Magic.
Yeah.
So
Well,
much
yes,
magic.
Yeah, she comes back with multicolored fizzy drinks in glasses with little. They're not paper, but you don't really know what they are. Sticks in them.
What the?
Whoa.
What
That is
is-
a straw. You can
Oh.
drink your drink through it. If you do
I
not
am-
want ice bumping against your teeth.
Oh.
Huh.
It's really
I am
clever.
making the attempt with the straw.
I'm gonna say that you can all manage a fucking straw.
Yeah, 'cause
You've been
it's
doing.
like, what
You've been sucking on things to get sustenance since you were an infant. Okay.
True, true.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
we're not requiring an
With the
agility roll
possible
to use a
except with
fucking straw.
with the possible exception of Froseth, who I don't think is going to be able to manage.
Yeah, his mouth might prove a bit more awkward. Yeah.
I think you need lips to operate a straw.
Well, he kind of has lips, but not in the same. It's
It's a
the
different
mouth.
configuration.
Yeah, and it's the whole mouth structure really.
Yeah.
It's a bit more like.
Particularly, he's given
Ow.
you a bit more of the Eastern dragon shape. So, yeah.
Ah,
It's like
yes.
this box
Try
of a
from the
mouth.
side now. Froseth, maybe that's easier.
Or he could just drink it out the glass because he.
All out the glass. So just
Because the
up to
last
you.
thing he needs to worry about is something cold bumping against his teeth.
I guess that's fair. I had not thought of that.
And while you're all debating that, appetizers turn up, and yeah, you get this deep fried onion bloomed out like
Mhm.
a.
Look at the
What?
blooming onion nut Outback. Yeah.
That's cool.
What?
I just start tearing into it. I'm like, this is amazing.
What?
I'm dipping it in the sauce. I'm just like, all right.
Calling garbage lead, but I'm still very confused.
Oh, I'm complete. Like
And
Hazel, don't feel bad. I'm completely confused, but this is amazing, and I'm just gonna run with it.
trade you a bit of your onion thing for a stuffed mushroom.
Oh, sure.
Just food exchanges for the
Yeah,
entire
pretty much.
You
Oh
want to
my
try
God.
stuffed
Wow.
mushroom, Hazel? Or anyone
That-
else?
Oh wow, that's wow. I didn't know you could stuff
Trades
that
and
much in a
everything.
mushroom.
Let's go.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know you could. Like I said, I didn't know you could stuff that much in a mushroom.
So, what?
You
kind
didn't
of
know there was
trade
that
are we picking up
mushroom in it?
tomorrow, given this food alone on any repeat is going to be.
On that note, we have reached that time. So we'll take our break, and when we come back, possibly we'll stop hitting each other over puns that I don't want repeated. Thank you, I missed it, and I'm happy to keep it that way. And you
It
can
was
actually,
really bad.
and you can actually
In
start.
my defense, Darvin said I up for that one.
Not intentionally.
Anyway, when we come back, we can actually start having conversations.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're back. The Cupcake Coterie is currently at a restaurant, rather different than the usual inns and things that they are accustomed to. And one of the questions that Megan, their server, would have asked was, how would you like your meat cooked? Remy, Alice, and funnily enough, Hazel know this one because Mom and Mama explained about the grades of meat cooking. So I'll say is just rare, please.
Medium rare.
Rare.
Which is sort of not well done, but just below. Is that
Medium well.
Medium well for me.
Yeah, actually, you don't know what any of this shit means.
Yeah. I don't know.
To explain to you, rare is so that the meat inside is warm but still red. And then you have medium, which is slightly pink on the inside, but still more cooked. Medium well is just a little bit of pink on the inside, and well done is brown all the way through.
Oh, rare.
I'll do medium well, please.
Rare.
Medium.
It actually turns to Froseth and goes, we do one that is, we refer to it as black and red. It is seared on the outside and inside is almost completely red.
That one.
Darwin just has a look in his face like, nah, rare.
Okay, and yeah, you guys get most of the silly out of the way during the appetizer phase. Your plates are cleared. You're asked if you want, your drinks freshened up, and eventually the various bits of meat and seafood, etc., arrive.
At which point I, assuming Megan at some point has stopped by once meat is there, I was going to ask, given what we've got, there were a lot of wines I wasn't familiar with on the list. What do you think would go well with this meal? Because I'm not sure.
Well, taking all of your meals combined, I would say that she looks down the wine list and points at one which is more in the sort of Heavenswardy kind of province, is very, very rich, very oaky sort of a flavor with hints of cranberry.
I mean, I'm gonna have some guys. Do you guys want some too, or because I'll get a bottle. Well, we can get a bottle if you want.
For 7 people, you will probably need more than one bottle.
Oh, right. Duh.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Works for me.
Let's do this.
All right. So yeah, I guess two bottles, 3 bottles, two.
Two.
Two's probably enough. Yeah, let's not push it.
Okay.
Yes, particularly you might want a coffee liqueur with your dessert.
Yes.
And you were thinking about the dessert wine, so.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, as I said,
Yeah.
this is my first time here, so I want to try.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, I want to have the experience.
She comes back and she looks around the table and she pours the taster portion for Darwin.
And because I've done the wine
Yeah.
thing before, so I'll, do the whole swirling around and. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh. You are absolutely correct. That is wonderful.
And she pours out for the table, leaves the second bottle, and well, there's like maybe a glass left in the second bottle, so.
Yeah.
And leaves you guys alone. And one thing that Alice goes is, I'll trade a bite of your lobster tail for one of my prawns. These are massive things. Hazel has never seen shrimp this big.
Happily trading.
Swap.
So.
Want to trade a bit of steak for a prawn? or a piece of prawn?
Well, I've got my own, but
never
I'll happily. She just ladles one. If you have a different dessert than me, I'll defer the trade.
Sure.
So, do we have any idea what to expect when we go before?
Well, you met him before, yeah, or at least talked to him or something.
Mhm. Yeah,
With the mirror things a bit.
and there was
And-
mention of riddles.
Yeah, and he knows you're looking for a specific thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it depends, I guess, on how busy he is. I mean, there might be a wait. We might have to make an appointment. I don't know.
Okay. So I just figured we'd try to at least get some idea of how we're handling things starting first thing in the morning after breakfast. Because I'm very intrigued by the whole bagel, cream cheese, salmon thing.
Yeah, this isn't the bunny one, is it? It's a woman who did the bunny thing.
Well, basically all of them combined decided the bunny thing, but it was Kreia Bendis who actually passed the
All right.
sentence, and Vieva Led who carried it out because she is the most, as far as anyone knows, the most magically potent of the lot of them. And as Alice is explaining this, she's going, and according to Darwin, she's the oldest. Like 1,000 years old plus or something? Doesn't look it.
Mhm. So yeah, I guess all we really do is just go and speak to someone in some sort of charge and see, I guess, if we have to make an appointment or if he like you said,
I
if he's
think
busy or...
it's probably fair to offer to make an appointment, and they can check his schedule from there, rather than
Right.
say we want to see him. And I'm sorry, it's something you do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Same result, slightly better approach.
Yeah, no, very, very, very.
That's great.
And then there will be riddles and things will be crazy.
Probably.
Oh boy.
I hope I can get the rabbit.
We're gonna
thing
come
of
out.
it first.
I think we're probably gonna come out of this with our brains hurting.
So, like a Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Ah, all right. That's even worse. This is a great steak, by the way. Oh man.
There's a couple of different sauces in little individual
Little
tin
pots.
pots. There's something that tastes a little bit spicy with tomato. There's something brown, which you guys would know as barbecue sauce. There's an even darker one that you don't even have a name for. And there's something white with sort of chives in it, which is remarkably spicy.
Spicy thing.
Welcome
Yeah.
to horseradish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going for the full Monty, so I'm trying every single thing I can get in me. So.
And obviously, there's a slightly bigger pot of garlic butter for.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah, we're basically up to our eyeballs in this stuff and just trying to figure out things while basically eating ourselves into a food coma. Wonderful.
Yeah, basically. So then, okay, well, assuming that nothing goes sideways, which with us is a very large assumption, I know. What are we doing after we finish?
Well,
seeing-
I know we're in a hurry, but I
Mhm.
don't think that Hazel would be able to forgive herself if she didn't at least spend a day exploring some part of the city.
Right. No, I just was curious. I mean, now the map that we have, what is that? What does that cover? Is that just,
stay, isn't
that's
it?
just places to stay? They didn't have any other information on it.
No, it was
Ah, shit.
We'll need another map, so we gotta find
Mhm.
wherever shopping happens around here.
I think
Well,
I think
and-
shopping happens more or less everywhere, and
In
we
the
pass
shopping-
and we
Yeah.
pass through most of the shopping district on our
Mhm.
yomp. If we'd known
Mhm.
about the tram things, we probably could have caught one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow morning, we can see. We can probably ask Polly just for some general idea of like where should we start, and kind of go from there.
And
You know.
besides, we can start with that by asking if there's a tram to the government building. It's a lot
Oh.
easier letting the trams do the navigation for us most of the time.
Fair.
Than attempting to map. Nye is good at map. We are not good at map. If I
Right.
walked out into the street right now, I wouldn't come back for 3 days.
It's more than that. It's more that if we're going by tram, we can't get distracted by things in windows.
That's fair as
too.
well.
I need to go back to that place. That was some sparkly clothing.
So,
Oh, what, you mean
since we've been doing
You
all
mean
different things, remind me, what exactly are the various is the plan in the end? What we
Plan for what specifically? We have many plans.
well exactly and
Well, as far as I can tell, correct me if I'm wrong, because I tend to be good at taking the bits of information that people throw into the mix and get sidetracked a whole hell of a lot, and put them together into sort of a coherent line.
you are very good at that.
First thing we're gonna do is have breakfast with our hostess Polly, and remember to ask her about the rates.
Yep.
And have a think about how long we're going to be staying, but letting her know that it's probably going to be at least 2 more nights, because we don't know how long things are going to be, or even if we're going to be able to get an appointment with the governor for tomorrow. We don't know. I got the impression from some of the stuff you were saying that he's a bit more hands-on with some of the stuff that goes on around here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Might just
we've
pop up.
got to kind of plan for that.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't get an appointment with him until the following day, we use that day as our shopping and exploration day.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can, we wander around that area until it's time and do the thing.
Right.
And then the following day, assuming that we're not spoken for some riddle contest or slaying something, or I don't know how they do things here. Hence the 2 further nights, because we're not
Good
gonna
point.
want to lug stuff around. We're gonna
No.
want to. Actually, that's a thing we have to consider: how we're gonna get back. As I understand it, you guys took a cargo transport.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
There
I
was
mean-
the train and oh
Well, there was the cart.
no. There was the train, then the cart. But remember what was at the other end of the train? That little sort of half between the Underdark and Underground, where we met.
Well, no, if to remind you, that was just in Gray's Inn, not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there probably was some of the train way above, but it wasn't so much in between. You met her in Gray's Inn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Under
basically
Gray's
under
Inn.
Yeah.
Under Gray's Inn, we met
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
met our friend who
Mm-hmm.
sees in the
Yeah,
dark
but
way
that-
better than any of us do.
Yeah, but that was we didn't actually do any traveling then.
Yeah, but we still need to. That's still probably worth checking up on our way back, right?
Okay.
Because the only other way of getting back would be asking someone to maybe send us directly, and that's magical stuff that none of us have any idea how that works.
And remind me why we
Or
need
we-
to see the governor again for what happened in Belarus.
No, bottled lightning. They need bottled lightning.
Oh right.
Yeah, because they're collecting all the bits for a dragon slaying
Mhm.
weapons. So far, they've
Right.
got the blood
Acid
of the.
and poison.
Well,
and-
you've got acid, you've got poison, you've got divine flame from so many different sources. I wonder which of us she's gonna want it from.
Is there really a difference?
There might be. I mean,
Depends on the deity it comes from. Maybe.
well, it's more that
Probably.
Hazel's and Remy are gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Gifts asked for, gifts earned. Mine is innate. Mine's in the blood.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So it's possible that because I just naturally imbue weapons with that kind of thing, I might be a better option. I don't know. We'd have to ask her. But we've got the living ice. We've got the blood of the dragon. We've got we've got the celestial fire. We've got the acid. We've got the poison. And now all we need is bottled lightning. Now, as if I remember correctly, initially it was the governor of Belarus saying that he could provide it if he had to, but I don't think he's going to do that now.
Nope.
No, because he's very angry with us.
Rightly so.
Well, possibly less so, given that we did nip in the bud an apocalypse cult brewing under his city.
Why would he be angry at us?
The blue Dracolich?
Basically, every dragon in this place, unless they are very understanding or possessed of a weird sense of humor, is going to be pissed at us about the Dracolich thing.
Right, makes sense. Okay.
Because the last thing they want is more dragon on their territory. And unlike with the red dragon, when we killed the Dracolich, we didn't take care of the phylactery, which is why we have to hurry, deal with the stuff in Baronsphere, and come back and complete our obligations here before we move on to whatever comes next. Which, if I understand it correctly, after liberating Baronsphere and dealing with the Dracolich, we're gonna have to look further into this apocalypse cult.
Mm-hmm. Because they keep popping up everywhere and trying to turn places into blasphemy.
And succeeding in a couple of places.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Darwin turns a bit white at that.
Can we not talk too much about that over dinner? I'm just looking at that from the long-term plan. But we have the short-term plan, which is speak to the government offices tomorrow, and in the next couple of days, do whatever riddle contest we've been asked to do, and look around the place, find a way home.
Mm-hmm.
She pauses for a minute and just... Yeah, anyway. Liberate Baronsphere, one barony at a time, more or less. And then come back here, find that phylactery, smush it.
Do we even know how to find it?
We'll worry about that when it's time to do it.
Well,
Do we even know how to smush it?
Again,
phylacteries are... The reason they need to be hidden is because they're usually as fragile as anything else. They need to be hidden so they don't get broken.
Yeah.
And then... Oh, goody. Southern lands. Always wanted to go there.
The place where the apocalypse cult is probably coming from.
Well, it's certainly got a pretty heavy foothold there from what I've heard about from what I heard in Belarus. And even as a kid, it was moving pretty heavily. But from what I'm given to understand by what Remy won't say as what she will, it's got worse over the last little while. But we're not going to go into that over dinner either, because I don't feel like triggering PTSD in too many more people.
thank you.
Nomp.
And
Flitty is happily hopping around the table, nomping bits from everybody.
Yeah, I'm basically like...
I'm just
every
like-
time Flitty...
yeah, I just spear a small little morsel of steak and just hold it.
Nomp.
I
I'm
just
doing,
hold
the
the fork
equivalent
out.
I'm doing the equivalent for bits of lobster. So I've got like my piece of lobster, and then there's just the bit that I'm basically handing to Flitty every time Flitty comes around.
Well, he's as much interested in, because you've also come with baked potatoes and a vegetable medley that's mostly like carrots, little chunks of broccoli, and green beans.
Yeah, and there's just random bit every time Flitty turns up to my hand. Here's this
I'm
thing.
just picturing
and the
this.
next time,
Boing,
here's another
boing,
thing.
Boing, 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 It's a game. It's like Duck Duck Goose, except
Yeah.
it's boing boing numph, boing boing numph.
Pretty much. And eventually sort of curls up next to the breadbasket. I'm going to save a little bit of room for dessert.
No, I scratched his head.
Yee.
Curling up around the still warm bread basket. Because the bread is warm inside. I'm just picturing you suddenly a cat. You're just looking for warm.
Are we going to be able to move tomorrow, given all of this?
I think keep in mind that most of what we ate for lunch was frickin' railway food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
We're paying back the debt we owe our stomachs.
Hence the noise.
Eventually, you finish up your dinner and plates are cleared away. Would you like me to bring for you the dessert menus?
Yes,
please.
Gary,
Yes, please.
It comes back with, in this case, it's just a sheet of paper, which is in this kind of wallet of, it's clear like glass, but it's bendy.
Praise Egref for weird things.
And it's a small list. You've got something that is just listed death by chocolate. There is raspberry mango cheesecake, which Alice is all over. Ice cream in a wide variety of flavors.
I'm just staring at the words death by chocolate.
Of course you are.
I'm just looking down the list of flavors of ice cream, just like
This
Okay,
has
I
to
think-
happen. I will attempt.
And you've also underneath you've got list of potential toppings. So you've got various different
Yeah,
sauces,
I'm like-
nuts.
Block
I
for
have-
ice cream.
okay. I think I know what that one is. I think I recognize that name.
There's
What the hell's
there,
pistachio.
it's a kind of nut.
Oh, okay.
It's
Wait,
it's
nut-
green.
Weird. Okay. Cool.
There's bubble gum, which means nothing to you.
What the heck is durian?
Is there anything that's similar to what there'd be in Baron Sphere? Probably not.
Well, there is. I mean, there's the usual chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
I mean, in general, desserts, not ice cream.
There is at the bottom apple pie. You can have it a la mode.
That sounds like an Ava thing.
Yeah. We used to have it all the time back at home.
Apparently, if you really want good pie, you need to have what her parents bake. Points at Hazel, and her parents bake. Points at Remy. My parents didn't bake.
Yeah, we know what that was. That was not
Yeah.
baking.
Mine didn't either, but for different reasons. Anyway, I'm gonna
There-
let's see, and he's just gonna go through and find the strangest, weirdest sounding flavors of ice cream on the list. Bubble gum is going to be one of them. Cotton candy will probably be another one.
They do,
Oh,
in
and-
fact, have cotton candy.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
hope they don't have durian.
They have rainbow.
And-
They have rainbow sherbet, whatever the hell that's supposed to be.
and only because he actually knows what it is, but has absolutely no idea how the hell you could make it in ice cream form. He's getting birthday cake.
I'm just gonna let you have that one. Oh
I'm like, I know what that is, but how the hell would you do it in ice cream form? What the?
This poor D&D party getting sufficient to basically modern food. They have no idea what's happening right now.
I mean, truthfully, when I first heard about birthday ice cream, that was my exact reaction
It-
in real life.
I've had it. I've had it. It's great.
Yeah, no, it is. But
How
the
would
first
you
time I ever
make
heard of it,
that?
I was like, how the fuck
It's
do you
it's
do this?
it's chunks of cake with a sort of a strawberry sauce, strawberry vanilla ice cream kind of a thing, or at least that's what it was when I had it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something basically like that. Yeah.
It's gotten weirder since.
Well, it must have different
Depending-
varieties, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you can get them with these weird, like, shaped sprinkles. Like, they're not sprinkles, but they're kinda.
I had the Ben and Jerry's one. I
That's why yours is good.
I miss the cinnamon roll ice cream that they used to have.
Oh God, yes.
And now we're in full-on food fantasy because
Anyway.
Tess is like the queen of doing that to us.
Anyway, sorry. So yes, I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna get, whatever some of the toppings, marshmallow and
The
butterscotch.
sugary
and,
abomination.
and
Yeah,
it's basically just gonna wind up being a
When-
triple scoop Sunday mash thing.
Yeah, you
Oh my God.
when you read this out for Megan, she's going, we may have to add this to the menu. The adventurer's abomination.
By all means.
What? Death by chocolate needs to happen.
Oh God.
Is there just a fruit plate?
Yes.
Please.
The poor elf is watching us create these madness things.
I'll have the apple pie, please.
Is Remy
Was that
even going
Remy?
to bother?
This is
Like
You went
he
muted.
wants ice cream, but all the. Am I muted?
No,
No,
you
you're
were
fine.
just quiet.
Okay. Like looking at the list, and there's too many choices.
At which point you got Alice leaning, looking over at him and going, go for a couple of scoops of the mint chocolate chip.
Sure.
Remy?
Chocolate. Plenty of chocolate.
Okay. Do you mean chocolate ice cream or do you mean the death by chocolate?
Chocolate ice cream.
All right then. And Alice orders a bottle of the dessert wine, which you get in very small glasses.
And the cheesecake.
Yes. Yes, I don't know if any of you have ever tried ice wine, but it is thick and very sweet, and you have it in very small glasses because it's potent as hell.
Yep.
I haven't. I need to try this stuff.
It's glorious stuff. I've had it
Yeah.
like once or twice in my life, and must have more.
Mhm. Yeah, I've only had it once, I think. Wait, did I have it? No, I think I had it twice. I forgot about that party.
Two facts may be related.
Yeah.
Darwin,
Well,
Whoa.
yeah.
Darwin's,
Anyway.
Darwin's bowl comes and it is this rainbow-colored. They've actually made it look attractive if weird.
Good
Like,
grief.
That's
That
a
is
lot
a
of
work of art. Oh my goodness! I love this.
There's a couple of of sort of conical shaped wafer biscuits stuck in the.
That's like that's like that story we passed with the crazy glowy outfits, but in food form. How?
Like if this were slightly more modern, or like it'd be like there'd be sparklers on it.
I thought about that, but no. But there are sprinkles, so there's
Yeah.
rainbow
Yes.
color, and they may actually be slightly sparkly.
Oh my goodness, I love this, and I'm just gonna grab the spoon and just start going to town.
Some of those
Not
flavors,
very
some of these flavors do not go well together. So eat
Yeah,
carefully.
so occasionally you get a look, you get this look in his face like, "Mhm." Okay.
Oh, Darwin.
Hazel-
Ava
Hazel-
That
looks
was
at him.
weird.
Ava
Hey-
looks at him. If you're sick tomorrow, I am not getting anywhere near you.
Oh, trust me, we haven't got to that part yet. Hazel has this massive chunk of flourless chocolate cake with chocolate icing, chocolate sauce,
That looks
this sort of
very-
chocolate whipped cream curly cues all along the edges.
Wow.
Chocolate sprinkles.
Is it a slice or is it the whole thing?
It's a slice, but it's more of a chunk, really. That is that's,
Very happy.
You
Ava,
want to try some?
Alice just dips her spoon. Yeah, not bad.
Ava, you need to have this.
All
Holding
right.
it out.
What? Not in
Like,
the
is
face, Hazel.
Is Ava strong enough to get a fork through that?
And
Oh, yeah.
the rest of you get sensible things, although Nai doesn't know what half those fruits are. And he knows the strawberries, he knows the apples. He's not sure about what are grapes. He's only been recently introduced to bananas. There are some yellowish rings.
And something small and green.
Yeah.
Kiwi.
I was reaching for a nature check.
Actually no, because most of those are indigenous to where you came from.
Yep.
I wonder if any of that's a little bit of the inside of a durian.
No, that's pineapple and kiwi.
Look,
Oh, and there's an orange kind of thing, but
If I
it's
s-
not an orange.
if I see any
Grapefruit.
mango, I'll offer Hazel a chunk.
No, there is no mango. There is melon. There is no mango.
No.
One more food exchange.
Meanwhile, Froseth and Remy get sensible portions of chocolate and mint chocolate chip ice cream.
And Ava gets a simple slice of apple pie.
Did she have it a la mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, so also vanilla ice cream. And this is proper fresh vanilla ice cream. The one thing they have not heard of is artificial flavors.
Oh,
Ava's eating the apple pie, but there's still like a little, not the sort of happy look you'd expect.
It's the kind of sad nostalgia.
Yeah. Does it taste like the one she knows? Or...
Not really. More cinnamon, something that you can kind of identify as clove. They go a bit more for the kick here.
Mhm.
And the
But it
ice
still
and
kind
the
of reminds her of
and
it.
and yeah, and the ice cream part is new because that was very rare even for the nobility. Hazel probably had it more than any of you, but that's because magic parents.
And I'm subjecting Darwin to parts of the death by chocolate. Just
Yeah,
like-
if you can get it past the spoon. Num 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 num.
Well, what
Oh, God.
as
haven't I heard about something that happens if you eat ice cream that fast?
Probably.
Oh no.
yeah, we're assuming he's going through the ice cream headache, but we haven't got to that part yet.
Oh, it'll hit in a couple of minutes.
And the ice wine has been poured for you guys, so
This was more chocolate than I was expecting.
It's literally called Death by Chocolate. What were you expecting other than
Thank
that?
you, Ava.
I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect at all.
well, somebody's got ice cream headache, and given that you have now stopped, I would like a Constitution saving throw from you.
Oh god.
Dun 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 dun.
Death by ice cream now.
Oh!
Oh god.
None of that is sitting very well because you ate it too fast. It's a weird combination of flavors, and you might want to find
I'm like
there are signs that
okay, I'm gonna run. You just see Darwin stand, look around, find a sign, and run.
What's
I
don't
knew
think
it. I
that
knew
did
it when I
too
saw
well.
scooping that up that fast.
the adventurer's abomination sat poorly. He chose poorly.
Oh good grief.
I'm
Darwin.
beginning to feel better and better about my choices. Spears of pineapple.
I'm going to, while
Unfortunately,
he's gone, I'm stealing part of whatever insane abomination this is.
Hazel.
I need to at least find out what it's like.
There's
And
about a
then we
third of it
rolled-
left.
Oh god. You basically got this weird ass abomination of boysenberry, cotton candy, and butterscotch. And it's the weirdest fucking taste combination. I rolled the hand of fate and I got a 2.
How was Darwin eating this? What?
Okay, given that I need to reach over and try.
Oh.
And now we
Here.
roll the hand of
Taking a
fate.
scoop and just holding it out.
Oh
to
god.
This doesn't make sense.
Ava's just shaking
You
her
got
head.
a 1 on the hand of fate, so you got the absolute worst combination you conceivably could. So
Oh wait, it
you
changes
got-
from person to person?
Well, it's a whole.
It's a mix.
It's a mix, and he's been stirring it around. So
Oh.
what you got?
Prestidigitation!
Meanwhile, poor Darvin has found. I mean, he remembers actual bathrooms, although flush toilets are kind of a new thing. But he's probably not noticing that straight away because he is currently discovering that his meal did not taste anywhere near as good coming up as it did going down.
And I'm just sort of lying on the thing, like eyes half closed, just open enough to go, I don't remember it being that color when it went in.
That is disgusting.
And he's sweat pouring.
And you hear the voice of the maitre d' from the doorway going, if you push the little lever thing on the front of the tank, it will take away the mess. And then you hear the door close.
As the door closed, thank you. Fumble, fumble, fumble.
And you come very, very close to giving yourself a
swirly.
rather messy swirly, yes.
Because I just, and then a splash, a little bit of splash. I'm like, whoa, okay, whoa.
Oh my god.
Ah, that's loud. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Yeah, eventually he'll eventually he'll pull it together enough to walk over to the sink, splash some water, or walk over to. Well, actually, I don't even wouldn't know what that is. Never mind. Walk.
Well, you do see signs. Please wash your hands, and you kind of play with the faucets for a little while, and ta-da, running water.
Oh wow. Okay. Splash, splash, splash. First, it's
Water's still running because it takes you a minute to remember to.
Wait, how do I do the thing now that I can actually think?
It gets harder and it splashes a little bit more, and the front of your shirt is wet. So yeah.
Off. Bling. Hey, there we go. That works.
And this one comes out looking a little pale, but better.
Mm-hmm.
You still alive?
I'm casting
Yes.
Lesser Restoration.
Your stomach is now feeling a lot more sturdy and empty all over again.
I'm gonna have to. I wonder if they. I wonder if they do. I wonder if I could take some home. Not the ice cream. I just mean something else. For
Can
later.
ask.
I'm going to because I did not intend to do that.
I don't expect you did.
Your choices are interesting.
They each tried bites, and they have no idea how you just did that.
I didn't.
I mean, until I realized it wasn't going to sit very well, it was actually really good. It was a little odd, and yeah, I made the face, but
And you ate it far too fast.
Yeah,
I think
okay,
it
that
was the main problem.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
On top of everything else we've had, wow,
Yeah.
this is just. I don't
Hazel?
think even an explosion happening would wake me up at this point.
Hazel, by the way,
Eh.
thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Never fear, I am here to cure all ills.
At which point Megan comes back. Can I offer you some coffee?
Yes. Could I? I had a bit of a. Some of it didn't sit well, but that was my fault. I ate way too fast. It was still very good.
So the
Um,
Adventurers Abomination should not go up on the menu.
I'm not sure it's the best idea, no.
Well, I
I'm not
think
sure
it still should go, but as like maybe a challenge.
Yeah,
Well,
that could be
If
fun.
you
Or
can,
at
if you can finish it, your meal is free.
Or at the
Yeah.
very least, with a warning not to eat it quite so expeditiously.
No, I think I like her idea. We have been looking for an event. This is Egref. We like our riddles and our challenges and our sillinesses.
Oh, well, in that case, yes.
I love this.
That is
game.
a brilliant idea. As I said, it
that could be
tasted
really
very,
fun.
very good. I just ate it far too fast. But what I wanted to know, could I get a little something off the menu to take with me?
Shall I bring the menu back so that you can see what you might?
Yes, please.
And she comes back with coffees for the table and the menu for Darwin.
I'm just gonna look to see if there's like something just like a small sampler plate or like just a small steak, or even just some sort of a sandwich type of thing.
They're not so much on sandwiches,
I didn't think so.
but you can get a small steak. You can ask to have the sides left out, or you can have them sort of in a separate box.
Mhm.
There's more portable options on the menu for like potatoes and veg. So
Hmm.
you could get like potato wedges and
Yeah.
and a salad or something.
Yeah, that's basically the general idea.
Yeah, and an extra gold is going on
Oh yeah.
your menu. Everybody else is 3 gold total for the entire meal. Yours is 4.
That's cool. I got it. I'm marking it. I marked it down.
Yeah. Alice actually also puts down 4 gold because you always tip your server.
Mhm.
I have been told
Ah.
this.
I'm
Good
pulling
point.
out a platinum in this case and putting it on.
Hazel-
That's a little overkill.
Yeah. No.
right.
I have this and like just okay. I'm just gonna pull out. I'm gonna switch the platinum for the gold. For the remaining gold I have, and just plunk
I'll
that
throw
down.
in a gold too.
Yeah, I'll throw.
I've already done so.
Same.
Hazel, I'm actually like going far slower than normal, even with the coffee. I look like I've actually like completely slowed down to maybe 30% of my usual
So we
vibrating
just-
speed.
So you're normal.
So we just need to keep our stomach absolutely full at all times.
Yeah, basically.
Is that even possible?
Given how much you manage to consume on a regular basis, I doubt it.
I was about to say that might get expensive.
Well, it depends on whether we're eating meals like this or we're doing the Belarus food market run.
Anyway, shall we head back?
yeah.
Works for me.
Getting a bit late, and I'm sure we all could use some sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. That
And-
that was an adventure just in one place. There's going to be more soon.
I think that when we're as they're waiting for the next trolley, I think that at some stage I know it kind of weirds you out, Darwin, but we need to see the clanky place with the clockwork and all the chocolate, and we need to arrange going to that bar that was almost entirely ice for Furseth. We don't do enough
Yes.
that's specifically for Furseth, and I feel that we should do
you are
that.
absolutely right. You are absolutely right. First, we don't. Yes, you are absolutely right.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're going to Ice Place because Froseth has not
It's
had
amazing.
nearly enough awesome.
Yeah, well, and Froseth is amazing and just deserves it. So
If nothing else, he is the reason that there is any kind of quiet and sanity in this group at all.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that one.
nope.
I didn't know Dragonborn could blush. That's cute.
I'm going to sort of slowly shuffle over half in food coma and just drape hug. Like, not squeezing, just. So you
Everybody-
are a very, very full elf.
Everybody gets it sometimes, Froseth. It's your turn to be lavished with affection. Get used to it.
Oh, I should not make that. Never mind. I should not make that pun. I should not make that pun.
But you want to, so
I
go
do.
ahead.
Make the pun.
Hazel,
Go
I'm
on,
sorry, but I'm sorry. A full half elf. Oh, good. Hazel's laughing. Thank you for taking that in the humor it was intended. I appreciate that.
Yeah, given that's a touchy subject for our
Yes, that's why I apologized beforehand. It just my brain did the thing. I had to get out of my system. Thank you, Hazel.
You're
Much
fine,
appreciated.
Darwin. Let's get back to the.
and
place
you have
sleep.
your doggy bag full of
Mhm.
and the steak still smells glorious from even just in the
Mhm.
bag.
I just want to get back to the room. I'll eat my actual meal there, and hold it down this time, and then
Your
go on to
second
sleep.
meal, you mean?
Hmm.
I don't know if the first one counts. He didn't exactly keep it.
Mm.
Yep.
And they get on the tram. By the time they get to by the time they get to the Riddler's stump, it's going 11. Most of the lights are out except for a little what you might call a porch light.
Okay.
And I would like
That's-
all of y'all to roll
No.
stealth. And hey, guess what? Remy doesn't
Pass
have
another trace. Pass
has-
another trace.
Remy doesn't have disadvantage this time because she's not in her armor this time.
Whoops.
It's probably a bit of a kill, but I'll throw pass without a trace just to be. Hold on, I'll throw up the card.
Ooh.
I think we all know what pass without trace means, and I think it's saving some people's ass right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's saving some of our butts.
Sorry, what did I miss?
Stealth, please. You do have advantage,
24.
and it's
But
Oof, yes,
but
it
I
really
can't
is
roll
saving a
because my
couple.
input is out. I got kicked off roll 20.
in which case it says you're still there, but let me just do a thing. Ta-da.
Oof.
Thank God for a pass without trace.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mark it, by the way.
There's advantage too. So
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the advantage. Hang on, let me roll that again for him. Actually, under his... I don't know if I can just swap to him for a roll, so... We know who we're talking about.
19.
Yeah, so...
19 total.
with
Remy got a 19 first. Jesus.
No,
20.
14. I hit it twice.
Oh, okay. So. Okay.
Well, we'll go for the either way. It's 24 with pass without trace. So, thankfully, she did that so that the various bits of ash and things were on the front porch, not the carpet. So yeah, they with various degrees of success and helped immensely by Ava's.
First time I can use it.
Unfortunately, it does mean that because the gentlemen are on the floor above.
Ah.
When these guys go up, it's... I mean, you've saved Hazel, but Froseth kind of hits a
Oops.
cat with his tail, and there's Scrabble.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is also followed by...
displeased cat.
Well,
Yeah, so
Very
if one stepped on your tail.
well, no, it's a little less steps on cat's tail. It's more Froseth's tail meets cat.
Oh.
Smack.
Oh.
Whoops.
Oops.
Yeah, so it really was whap, thump, Scrabble.
Oopsie.
At which point I'll sit down with my small.
There
bit of
is
steak.
there is because you've got the larger room. You do actually have a table with a couple of
Mhm.
chairs.
So I'll sit there and start eating some of my steak. I'll cut off a small piece, and assuming did the cat run out of the room or just like under the bed?
Oh, this was in the corridor, so
Oh, never mind then. I was gonna try to offer it a little bit of steak to apologize.
there are a couple of other cats. One is currently colonizing Nye's recliner. Another one is sort of plots out on the chair opposite Darvin's. There's one sort of draped over the foot of the bed.
I don't have. What the hell? I'll just cut. They'll be very small pieces.
It's a
but-
larger steak than you expected, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll cut off 3 bite-sized pieces and pass them around.
No, happy cats. That rusty elderly cat purring.
Yeah, basically. And I'll just I'll
Although
eat.
that and thankfully that does tempt the cat off of Nye's bed.
Thank you. I was starting to think about animal handling check.
No, I got it.
In any case, dinner is finished. Sleep is had, and there's knocks on doors. Breakfast is downstairs?
Okay, we'll be right down. Thank you.
Yay, fast breakfast things.
Come on, Hazel.
Back into the bed.
Hazel, come on. Don't make me splash water on you.
And
Still in food coma.
the three gentlemen, although Nye is already up. Knock, knock, knock. Breakfast is downstairs?
See, I can't hear that because I've got a cat sort of like over, just over my head, like over my ears. I'm just.
Well, Nye would hear
Here.
it. Nye would hear it.
Nye
My
and
face is
Nye and
buried in
Froseth.
cat.
Yeah, Nye and Froseth will hear that just fine, but they'll see Darvin apparently being half smothered by cat.
Give Darvin
Be
a
under there.
firm poke first before anything else.
The cat looks up at him like, "Are you taking my bed away, biped?" And doesn't move.
I'm trying to open my eyes, but I'm buried. Like, what the? What the? Oh, what the? Wait, oh, thing, close. Wait, what?
Oh my
Hang on.
god.
What? Oh no. Hang on. And I like it's around here somewhere. Wait, poop. Oh, there's the drum. Ring, bip, dip, bip, brap, bap. And I start like tapping out a steady rhythm that sounds kind of like an animal running.
The cat activation noise.
Yep. And suddenly, and then you hear me go, "Can you please get off my head? Thank you."
I'm comfortable. You guys don't hear it, but that's what Darvin gets. I'm comfortable.
I'm sorry.
God.
I do need to get up.
I'm comfortable.
Well, I'm going to have to move you, and I'm sorry. And so then he will very carefully
Claws
Oh,
in bed.
This is gonna hurt. Lift. So now, claws across the face.
Yeah, that's 4 points of slashing damage to the face.
Yep. And set him
You're
down.
mean.
I'm sorry. I was as gentle as I could be.
You took my bed. I am going to pee on everything you own. And walks away.
Well, now I'm taking all my stuff with me.
You didn't hear that.
No,
Well, none of you heard any of this. All you saw was me.
no, you
asking-
heard Darvin's side
Yeah,
of
that's
that
what I'm saying.
conversation.
You heard, and then you heard me go. Well, now I'm taking all my stuff with me. Yes. Oh, right. You didn't hear. You.
And blood is pouring down his face as well.
Yeah.
Oh god. Waiting for an explanation face.
I can talk to animals sometimes.
This was less talking and more getting scolded, I take it.
Yeah, he's going to pee on everything I own, so I'm taking.
If
everything
you'd
I own.
used a fucking persuasion check, that might not have happened.
I mean, out of character, I thought of that. In character, nah. With everything he went through last night, he'd been too out of it to think of it.
The bard, ladies and gentlemen. A real bard would have seduced the fucking cat.
Oh my god, that's...
I'm going to die! I can't fucking breathe!
Anyway,
I'm holding back with my brother sleeping next door.
Everyone gathers for breakfast. Darwin a little bit behind the others,
Still
carrying his bag with everything he owns in it, and blood. I mean, it's starting to
It's
clot
starting
up
to
a
dry,
little
but
now.
yeah.
What
but-
has pale happened to you?
Oh,
I think
the
the
cat.
cat happened.
Yeah, the
That
cat
looks
would
like
move.
that looks like something Noop would do when grumpy.
Come here.
Silent image, cat laying on Darwin's face.
Yeah, that.
And
Got
he
it.
decided
Yeah,
you
that-
decided to remove it forcefully.
Not a very good idea. Come here. Cure wounds.
Yeah, that's. I mean, roll
That
for it
closes
just in
it up.
case.
Well, it's 4 points, and I think Cure Wounds does at least 4 points, doesn't it?
I think you're thinking of
Uh,
healing potions.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Something.
Mostly closes.
All right. Prestidigitation on the rest, to get rid of the dried. And we lost 9 again.
Oh, that's because he was on the phone and now he's bouncing back.
Oh, my bad.
Oh no, now he's back on the phone again. So he's hopping
Man,
out in and out.
Your internet, dude.
Yeah, Comcast always attacks with advantage.
Oh Lord.
In any case, yeah, you get pitchers of orange juice, pot of coffee, pot of tea, and plate of bagels, plate of slices of smoked salmon, and dish of cream cheese. You all know what that is out of character, so I won't belabor the descriptions.
Glory to fast breaks.
How-
Breakfast. Sorry. Ugh.
So how does this work? I've
Uh,
never had
The-
any of this.
and Polly.
Do we
who's-
know about
Well,
donuts a
appears-
thing?
This appears to be some sort of round bread, so that's one thing.
At which point,
I-
Polly is sitting at the head of the table, and she just demonstrates what she's doing. You just do what I do.
Okay.
Mimicking and
Oh,
immediately
yeah.
just having this
I
looks
will
good,
watch,
and
and
I'm just
then
going to
do the thing.
yeah. I need more food despite having been in a food coma.
The amount of energy you burn regularly at this does not surprise me. No.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely sure about
Yay.
fish for breakfast, but
Not different from bacon, really.
I like it.
that is sacrilege. It's very different than bacon.
Yeah, no, I mean the principle. Not
Yeah,
obviously
but the
taste
fish-
and the
It's the fishiness, not the meat.
This reminds me of home, kinda.
This is really good.
I don't know why it does.
I think it's just the gathering at the table first thing in the
Maybe, yeah.
morning.
I mean, that's part of it, but the food does it too, and I don't know why.
All right.
Nice looking around for water.
Polly will have to actually fetch him some, so
Oh.
because there was orange juice, coffee, and tea, but not water.
Oh, tea is good. Tea is good. I was just picturing like salmon and orange juice at the same time.
Actually,
Oh.
fish and citrus is not that bad together.
Yeah.
I think it's more the cream cheese and citrus that would be the problem.
Mhm.
Mm. Hazel's gone for the coffee.
Oh yeah, all the coffee.
Mhm.
Tea.
Coffee. Coffee. Coffee.
You're already hyper enough. Is that really wise?
No, I'm like half awake. Shush.
She
That's more than enough.
basically has two settings: under caffeinated, which is actually doing a really good impression of Hazel when she's doing her half awake muttering and when she slows down after using the boots. Or there's that hyperactive hypersonic squee noise.
Sorry about that.
I
get
never
so
make me
excited
make
and
that
like-
noise again.
I get so excited, and then the noise happens,
Yes,
and
we
people
know, Hazel.
hear it
Yeah.
who shouldn't be able to hear that.
It's not so much hearing it; it's a literal pressure on the eardrums.
Mhm. You
But
feel
I
it
can
more than
do
you hear it.
that.
And Polly,
Um,
Polly at the head of the table is, 3 of my grandchildren do that.
Huh.
I can weaponize that.
Well, that is basically your thunderclap, I suppose.
Yeah.
Thunder squeak.
I'm just slowly enjoying breakfast.
So, what are your plans in Egref for today?
We have an appointment to set up.
Yeah.
With the government.
Depending on how that goes, we may go shopping.
Mhm.
And I wanted to ask, I'm assuming in a place like this, shopping is pretty well everywhere. But is there a particular spot we should start? We've never been here. We don't know what.
Well, if you walked from this station, you will have gone through the garment district.
Okay. Yeah, we saw there was a very 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 blinky shop.
Yes. Further on from there, there is more Sundries Row, which is jewelries and accessories and such like. Occasionally magical, not incredibly often. There is, if you go further along that road, there's more antiques and specialized second-hand things. This may be magical artifacts, magitek, etc. There is Izat Lane. I do not know if you want to go to Izat Lane. Is where most of our makers are.
And if we go there, we don't want to mention
No,
Sweetwater, do we?
no, you do not. No, you do not. No.
Because we had the person in the sparkly outfit place absolutely lose their minds the minute I mentioned flying tea trays.
There was an attempt at a secondment. They had to rebuild Izat Lane.
Oh dear.
Oh, God.
They actually had to call a couple of the brass arrows from Alzorhai to come in and hunt some of the magitek creations.
Oh boy.
Things that got loose. Wow.
So yes, they had to rebuild Izat Lane, and that name does not get mentioned, or you'll be subjected to manners and possibly diplomacy.
Oh, duly
I
noted.
hate you, Tess. If those are exactly those are what I'm thinking of, I hate
Yeah, because you guys can.
Want to know?
Manners is a restraint system.
Beep.
Diplomacy is a handheld lightning. Is a hand-worn lightning gauntlet.
Whoa!
Why?
How does that even work?
I am no expert on these things, but when you run establishments of any type, you get gossip. You charge it, you make contact, and the charge passes through gauntlet and into person. As I understand, it hurts very muchly.
Well, Thunderwood.
Okay, not mentioning the Sweetwater ever. Unless mentioning Lyra. That one they didn't mind too much. The other one they started freaking
Let us
out.
not mention them at
Just
all,
avoid the name. They're
Yeah, right.
So
Let's just not.
after the
Good plan.
after the makers.
I mean, there is more, but this is more for people who are resident. There are grocery shops and furniture shops, and
Okay.
I mean, is a good place if you want to take home tastes of Egref, to bring home to family or what have you. But the government building is a bit southeast.
Okay.
Thank you. That's
And then, of course, there is the eatery district and the entertainment
Mhm.
district in
Mhm.
tandem, and you know where that is.
Yes. Thank you again for that information, by the way. We had a grand time at the Harley's Surf and Turf.
Oh yes, that is a lovely place. Oh, and
It
if
was-
if you have time and you wish to cross the city, you might want to go up to the cliffs and take the sky tram.
Ooh.
The what?
It's like the trams, except you go up in. You have seen and heard of elevators?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Have I? No,
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
you
we were
have.
in one, yeah.
That's how you got up to the various.
Oh, right.
You go up in elevator and you get onto like tram, as in hooked to cable, but nothing underneath, because obviously it's up in the sky. And you ride across the city down.
That sounds
I
amazing,
need
and
to
I
do this.
yeah.
This
I
is
think I
happening.
mentioned they've ever
You were muted. I didn't hear that.
Oh God, those things.
Yeah, cable cars.
Did Ava ever say she was afraid of?
You said heights weren't great for her.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see. Maybe.
This is happening. This is happening.
Well, Hazel,
We'll
I know you and I are
see,
gonna go. I know you and I are gonna go.
Ava, if it helps if anything happens, I can get you on the ground.
Well, I mean, not worried just for me, but yeah. Thanks.
I'm pretty sure I
Thanks
can
for
manage
trying.
a few of you. At least enough to get everyone hanging on to the cable.
Mhm.
You can
It'll
do
be like the chandelier all over again.
I'm not even touching that. So
Preferably not. Right, Darwin?
Oh yeah, no, I'm perfectly not. I agree, but you know.
while you guys are reminiscing, Alisaie is thanking Polly very much for breakfast, asking if she can help
Thank you
clear
so much.
things away. And Polly's like, no. Oh, incidentally, is 2 silver per room per night?
Oh yes. What do we say? What are we thinking, guys? 2. I know we said at least 2 more nights. Do we want to stretch it to 3 just in case? Like pay ahead of time, or
I think just in case wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, just in case. Let's go with the just in case.
okay.
Yeah.
We're going to we're only expecting to need another 2 nights, but we'll go ahead and pay for 3 just in case, just so that way nothing gets lost in the shuffle of the just in case.
Okay, that is total of 1 gold 8 silver.
Okay. I'll go ahead and pull that out of my own
Well,
pouch.
is that not what you have party funds for?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Process.
Freseth, do
have
you want to
the
go ahead
bag.
and take care of that then?
Yeah, I'll pull it out of the party funds.
All right.
Silver.
I was feeling generous. Oh well.
No, that is my job, says Alisaie, who's paid for an awful lot of things between there and done, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and,
Darwin just kind of goes.
and Polly's like, no, I can manage the cleaning. You go and have a lovely time. Enjoy Egref. And again, if you come in after 10, please do be quiet. Please be careful of disturbing the cats.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you heard it, but you don't know
Yeah.
exactly who did it.
Yeah, I know, but I heard it, so I know
Sure.
someone.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. One of them took exception to me removing their bed, which happened to be my face. But
That was this morning. She means last night.
oh, right.
Also, that is Mort. Unfortunately, taking your belongings will probably not save you.
Oh dear.
He holds a grudge, does Mort.
I just hope he misses the veal. That's all I ask.
Well, why not to take the veal and leave other things so that it will get it over with?
That's brilliant. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm gonna pull out because I still actually have. I'm gonna pull out one of my shirts. One of my shirts and one of the changes of clothing that I picked up when we were at. Was it Belarus that we got that, or was it?
Well, you'd probably be wearing the stuff you picked up in Belarus now rather than the stuff you picked up at the Agwe settlement, because, again,
right.
it's nippy.
That's right. So I'll leave a change of clothes and.
Well, you could
of
just
some
leave
sort.
a change of clothes out, leave the rest of your stuff, just take the veal, because you could just press to digitate everything.
Yep. So I'm gonna do that. just take the veal with me because I just no.
And Polly just waves farewell to y'all as you. Although Alice does stop and go because they forgot. Is there any place? Do we catch the same tram or do we pick up another one? Oh yes, no, you don't want the one just at the corner. You want a block further south, and you pick up there.
I did completely forget that.
Yep.
Thank
we
you very
did.
much.
Oopsie. We could have just walked, I guess.
Yeah. Darvin's big
Yeah,
enthusiastic
but
waves.
you
on the
didn't
way out.
didn't know exactly where it was from the from the eatery district.
True.
The tram ride's a little longer to the to the government building and the large, open, sort of canopied off space that is apparently where the riddle contests and fairs happen. There's no massive events going on at the moment, but you do see various old parties sitting around little wrought iron tables, apparently riddling. Some are playing what most of you, I think, with the exception of Nye and Froseth, will recognize as chess. There's a stage in the middle, but that's entirely empty. There is someone standing on a box in front of the stage, but not on the stage, reciting some really awful poetry.
Wow.
I'm gonna take it. I pause for a second and listen to a few of them, and just walk away muttering myself. You don't rhyme those two words. They don't even scan correctly. I did just walk away shaking my head. And just like, oh.
And there are signs pointing to the government building, and when you get in, it's all marble and mahogany and copper, and a sign reading "This way to reception" in many languages.
Yeah, it's like,
Well,
yeah,
you can, because
there's what I recognize.
Yeah, because you can understand when they're spoken. You cannot understand when you are reading them.
Oh no, I'm just scanning down, going, "Where's the one I recognize? There it is. This way."
And I'm following Darvin.
And the big mahogany desk with copper trim and 3 young women, 1 halfling, 1 human, 1 half elf, sitting at them. The halfling is just seeing off a gnome who's actually had to have been hanging off the thing, is clutching a bit of parchment and just making happy squeaking noises all the way out.
Oh boy.
The human is having a debate with a copper dragonborn in Draconic. It appears to be something about zoning rights and they where on his own property he's allowed to spit lightning because it branches onto the next person's property and it's messing up their experiments, and it's becoming a thing. The half
I
elf
don't understand any of that.
The half elf is having to deal with like a dozen halflings all talking at once.
What is even happening?
I am just standing respectfully. Just
The halfling beckons you over. Can I have the next person, please?
yes, and I will walk up. Hi, my name is Darvin Taylor, and we are the Cupcake Coterie, and we wish to schedule an appointment to see the governor, if at all possible.
She doesn't bat an eye at the Cupcake Coterie. She's a very professional, blonde, very early middle age, very very well groomed. If you would just wait one moment, and I will see if Governor Etienne is available.
Oh, thank you very much.
And picks up what the weirdest looking. I mean, you could theoretically use it as a punching weapon. Maybe it's just a handle attached to what appears to be nothing. Pushes a couple of buttons on the desk and starts speaking in Draconic. Darvin Taylor of the Cupcake Coterie is here to see Governor Etiel. Where would we find him in terms? Where would we find them a place in the schedule? It gives a slightly speculative look at whatever she's hearing on the other end, because there's some kind of wah 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 noise. And covers one end of it. The governor is overseeing some projects in Izat Lane today. Would tomorrow morning be sufficient?
Yes, yes, that would be excellent.
All right. Would 10 a.m. suit you?
Yes, very much so.
All right. I will arrange this for you if you would like to report to reception at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I will ensure that security takes you to Governor Etienne.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I will turn around and walk away.
She goes back and it relays that into whatever device she's using. This place is, and as they're leaving, Alice is like, this place is both more and less organized than any other place I've ever met.
Certainly a lot, isn't it?
I'm trying. I'm trying a new thing. It's called trying to keep it really simple.
You did great. That was
Like,
impressive.
this whole place makes sense, and then it also doesn't make sense all at once.
Yeah, but Darvin's learning, so we can cope with this.
Yes.
Yes! Yes! Praise Baylor!
Now, if you could also learn to keep it simple.
Exactly.
I try. It doesn't always work. I wish it did.
Hey, Hazel, you did great with the gems. That
You
was
did.
amazing.
You
That
did.
was very amazing. So, more along those
Yep.
lines.
So I guess we have today to ourselves.
Yep.
Looks
Well,
like it.
I have a list of places. Ava, didn't did you mention something about you wanted to look at more souvenir-y type stuff that was over by
Yeah,
the station?
Could we not do that on the way out?
That's true. That's
Because
true.
the way I
That's
figure
true.
it
But then
is, depending on how we're going, we might want to kill some time while we wait for a conveyance.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, right. I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, well, I did. Okay. Well, let's see.
Well,
Tell you what. Why don't I know that some of us? I know at least some of us wanted to check out the Skytram, and it's early enough in the day. Might be a good time to do it, because we can see everything.
Sure, why not?
Let's do that. Yeah. I like this plan.
And since we're coming to about that time, when we reconvene in 2 weeks' time, the Cupcake Coterie meets the Skytram and the rest of Egref.
Oh boy.
I will see y'all in 2 weeks.
Bye.